Dong. Dong. Dong.
Dude, seriously, dongs?
I forgot to bring my sound effect of a church.
You could just put sound effects in. Come on.
And somebody can go from here into AC/DC.
It's as about to say, it's the opening of
Listen to my children of the night. What beautiful music they make.
Oh, we got to really scary children.
the children of the league. What music they make. Meow. Seriously. Go watch Cat People. Werewolf.
Now that everyone has pressed stop.
Did you hear that? Bo went werewolf.
Hey,
I heard that in
It's been a year.
I know. It's been a while.
I genuinely missed it.
I did too. I got to the point I was like, it's cliched, but I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
of all the catchphrases, it was my favorite.
My annual Halloween hallucinogens are really kicking in right now, so
Welcome
might as well
back.
do a little flashback. Hey,
Indeed.
oh my God, it's Mr. Cotter and he has fangs.
The hallucinogenic saturated pumpkin seeds that you were
Oh yeah, baby.
scooping out, going brains.
They were hallucinogenic?
Send more pumpkins.
I need some of those. Can you pass me the seeds?
Well, you know how they have blood oranges. Now they have blood pumpkins. Well, although when I say pumpkin, I mean head.
Man, going out and kicking in pumpkins on people's doorsteps just got totally cool.
Unless you're in the movie Trick or Treat, so probably a bad call.
Then you get fucked up.
Having sex
Wow.
with pumpkins is even cooler.
Dude, I totally fucked a pumpkin. Never What? It was a fraternity thing, and I'm just kidding. I wasn't in a fraternity.
Yeah, it was our
Wow,
I was just doing it for fun.
I'm never going to
glory holes.
I'm never going to be able to have oral sex with a pumpkin again.
It
Thank
probably
you very
was
much.
a fraternity thing at some point.
I wasn't in the fraternity. I was just there hanging out. You
So
know?
before we hear more stories,
I think
of
coming from
Jason's-
Central Texas makes you a frat
of
boy by
Jason's
default.
college misadventures, let's do the introductions. For one, this is
There's
the
a
League.
lot of people here.
Yes, there is. There's a League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen. We've got a big crowd in here tonight. We're going to go around clockwise. I am Cyrus. Unfortunately, there weren't enough microphones this week for Greg to have a mic, but I'm sure he'll still yell from across the room.
Hey, man, we haven't had Greg back
This
in a
is
long
finally
time.
his base.
All hail Greg.
All hail Greg.
Return of Greg.
He's about to spill a drink.
No, am I? Well, no. Thank you very much. I've been sick, but I'm back. I've been busy, and I'm back. And this is no bullshit. You don't understand how much I miss you guys. It's like a part of my life. Just
Okay.
I didn't know.
Enough of that. That's enough of that.
I didn't know you could actually catch plowing groupies and doing cocaine.
From now
But
on,
that's good to know because I am going out to a club tonight and hope the antibodies are flowing.
Yeah, I bet you've been telling all your groupies about how much you miss us.
Yeah.
I missed you
can
back,
no
Greg.
longer speak,
Seriously.
but you have only since you don't have a mic, you have to talk like Peter Frampton with the.
Where's the inflatable pig?
All right, who's next?
Greg's looking mighty fly in his
It's
smoking
Allison.
jacket.
It's Alex.
And Grant.
And Leon.
And Bo.
And Kristen with her devil horns.
And Kayla.
Jason.
And hey!
Just say it.
Oh,
3000. Let's do this.
And when I went to Goodwill looking for my Halloween costume for this year, they had a bunch of third to fourth hand appliances, and look who I found to bring on the
The
show.
co-host 3000.
Who? Oh, I thought you were going to say Cyrus. But...
Corey Hawks co-hosted a Goodwill.
Well, wait a minute. Well, if Coast is here, we can send Grant home.
That's true.
Get the fuck out of here, Grant.
All right, guys.
You and your smoking jacket trying to be all cool and hip.
And Grant actually showed up in his smoking jacket tonight. It was fantastic.
And Greg's got his on it too.
He looks hot.
Mine smells like smoke and vomit, so I couldn't wear it.
Wait, well,
Yeah.
then
Because you
mine
haven't taken
smell
it
like
off.
Smoke and vomit. I don't smoke and I didn't vomit. Oh, Jason.
Yeah.
Your,
My bad.
Your outfit you're wearing actually smells like that right now. Too.
I got one too, but it smells like vagina. But I had to take it to the cleaners. Oh!
Jason, I gotta say, I actually just thought that was your cologne.
Hey.
It's better than it usually smells.
It's Axe's limited edition.
It's oh de ooh.
Ask someone.
But okay, so this is our Halloween pre-party edition. Our next recording you'll hear will be us actually really drunk. I don't mean this drunk.
No, like a gradient of drunkenness,
yes,
really.
like
Hell
it well into the red danger
Like a
level.
If we
confession.
do it right, it should just slide.
Our next episode will be done by Ledge, the Legion of Extremely Drunken Gentlemen.
And as you can see, we're pretty drunk now, and there won't
So
be any
imagine
comparison to what we'll
the
be
next
like.
level.
in
Or it'll be the
next quarter.
coroner doing it. It'll be that little hanging microphone above our body saying, "Subject number 7
Yeah,
is
it-
wearing a smoking jacket and reeks of Jägermeister."
Do not adjust the nozzle. Do not look at the nozzle.
It'll be the episode that'll be further known as Exhibit A.
Yeah.
But then hopefully someone will inject us with some kind of glowing substance and bring us back from the dead. Reanimator. Thank you very much.
And then a severed head will give Kayla oral pleasure.
You know, I once nearly died and drank. I once nearly died and drank like 5 of those Kylam sticks trying to get over the dry heaves, and it does not work, kids. Just let me tell you.
And really, Jason, saying that, how many guys are out there cutting their heads off?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Hopefully none of you guys will suffer from whiskey dick either by the end of the night.
Oh, like anybody here is getting
Yeah, I know how
laid.
much you hate that.
What was that? What was that?
Don't worry, we have appliances.
And Allison has snorted.
Co-host, if I find you fucking my Xbox again,
Well, right after Mary, but that's.
See? And that's it for co-host for this week. Everybody give him a big
Dude, both those bitches wanted it. What?
Hey, I'm tapping back in. I'm tapping back in.
But yes, I picture. Yeah, I was laughing at Jason like, oh yeah, they'll find us dead with the cord. It's like apparently he did 8 shots after he was technically dead.
Oh, is Jason gonna wear his Dylan Thomas costume to Halloween again? Great.
Which
And
is
are
what
you gonna
I would
wear-
do if I were a zombie. I'd be drinking.
Well,
Fuck brains.
fuck yeah. Mo's gonna wear his Edgar Allan Poe costume, and he's gonna disappear for 2 days, and we're gonna beat the shit out of him. And he's gonna show up in the ER, drunk, beaten all to hell.
Nevermore, 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 nevermore.
And married to his 13-year-old cousin.
Oh!
No. You're going
Right
as
in the
Jerry.
gotcha.
You're going as Jerry Lee Lewis, right?
Hey, even Roman Polanski will look over and go like, hey, what about that guy?
Yes, the Roman Polanski horror film we've all been waiting for, a biopic. Okay, so we're here to talk about horror movies and horror television shows this week. There will be no comics.
Wait,
What?
we can't
Whoa.
talk about horror comics?
Whoa!
I just got the new anthology of House of Secrets.
Well, see, there you go. That's our horror talk.
I
Go
just
out
read
and buy
Black-
House of Secrets. You should.
I just read Blackest Night 4.
You keep that in the closet with your other secrets. But,
Yes, I got a House of Gay anthology for you as well.
What?
What?
Wait, if I can slip comics in here, anybody reading Crossed?
Didn't I just say no comics?
There's a ban on comics, apparently.
Okay, have
I
you...
wrote it in the.
Welcome to our horror comic episode.
I read the Archie wedding special. That was pretty
Oh
horrific.
God! Don't remind
Now,
me.
you guys know the kind of shit we catch when we don't talk about comics.
No, see, you always say that, and yet we don't. There'll be like one guy going, "Why'd you talk about comics?"
I
And
know,
yet-
but that
and
guy
yet-
rides my ass.
And yet I suggest to you, look at the number of questions that pop up in the question post when it's a specifically comics one versus one that's not.
Listen, that one guy, he's right.
What? That we should talk about comics every time?
Fuck yeah.
Well, we just did, so that'll be the comics.
I have an
discussion
idea.
for this
Let's
week's
just
week.
talk about spooky shit in general.
All right.
You know what? I'm about ready to talk about anime here in a second.
I'm about,
Oh God! It really is the horror episode.
I'm about ready to smash this beer bottle and sodomize you with it. So,
All
how
right.
about that?
All right, so
Again?
horror. Let's get on with it.
Yes, let's get on with it. And first off, let's just go, even though it's not horror movies and television shows, and it's not comics. Does anybody have a good Halloween jokes? Just out of
Halloween
curiosity.
jokes?
Yeah, a good Halloween joke. Come on, somebody must know a good Halloween
Jesus
joke.
So,
Christ. What's the next question?
Okay, Kayla,
What?
please, you have the conch.
What did the witches sound like when they were at the racetrack?
I don't know.
Broom, broom, broom.
All right. What do you bury a mummified duck in? Kristen?
Dude, you killed my joke. I was fired.
That's a punchline.
I was giving you the punchline.
Yeah, but you killed it. Okay, so I wrote this joke myself. Where do you put dead geese? In a sarcophagus!
I don't get it.
It took two of y'all to do.
It's like a Laffy Taffy joke.
Yeah, exactly.
I do believe the only one who is writing Halloween jokes anymore are the people behind Bazooka Joe. So
Those guys are
Laffy Taffy. Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, Laffy Taffy jokes. That's where we're mining all of our Leog material now.
That's true. Those guys are brilliant, man. They I'm pretty sure the guys from Laugh-In got all.
What's the next question?
Is that it? You, Jason of all people, no Halloween joke?
No, I don't have any fucking Halloween jokes because it's not a joke.
Well, what
You don't mess with Sawane.
What do people from West Virginia do for Halloween? Pumpkin.
I was gonna say Cyrus.
That's actually
you could have just told that and not have to put any of us on the spot.
The thing is, that's not even like a joke.
That's true. It's not. It is
like a documentary.
And to be fair, it's also a horror movie.
Yeah. And we will, of course, get the message from the one guy from West Virginia.
I'm from West Virginia. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I got one. I got one. How many lesbian werewolves does it take to screw in a light bulb?
4.
Oh, that's right.
Wow, that was funny.
Hey, what does a horny warlock like to eat? A sandwich.
Hey, can we all say it together?
I made that.
Shut the fuck up, Grant.
I'm only laughing because Greg thought that was really funny.
And poor Grant forgot to bring his megaphone.
You
Hey,
stupid
man,
bitch.
at least he had the balls to get out there and say something.
He did, unlike you.
Hey, Leon, tell some jokes.
Yeah, this is a tough room.
I made a joke on the spot. I tried.
There is no try. You must do or do not.
Fine, we'll go right to the questions.
Okay, wait. How about a deep thought from Jack Handy?
Yeah, that works. Sure, if it's Halloween related.
I wish I had a kryptonite cross because then I could repel both Superman and Dracula.
Ooh,
It's true.
A nice thought. Or if Superman becomes a vampire.
That was really funny in 1989.
Or Kryptonian vampires.
Indeed.
I love those thoughts. I love them.
I think that's all the Halloween jokes there are, though. I don't
right,
think there
next
are
question.
anymore.
There's like 10 volumes. Trust me, they're all in my class library, and the kids have been telling me nonstop.
There are 10 volumes, and all of them have the same punchline: a Halloweenie.
Halloweenie.
All right, there's a
Most
married,
of them
I
don't
don't
want to
want to
be
be friends with anyone who
surprisingly
just laughed at that.
there's a couple that's been married for 20 years, and the wife says, you know what? It's been 20 years. I want you to get me a special present. And the husband's like, well, fine. What do you want? I want something
A divorce?
that goes from 0 to 160 in 10 seconds. He's like, fine. I'll buy you a scale.
How's that a Halloween
It's not.
It's not.
fail?
You
the
should
first
say,
joke that came to mind.
it's the bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein. Say
Because
that.
she's really a witch.
A fat witch.
So it's
A
the
fat witch.
subtext that I'm missing there.
Yes, it's a delicate, sensitive.
Hey,
The only thing
I got
do-
one more. I got one more.
All I got
no.
is a leprechaun joke. So
The robot's got another one.
All right. Why did the witch cross the road?
to get to the other side.
No, you dumb witch. Think about that for a little while, Cyrus.
Wow.
I know, it's just, yeah. I'm sorry, Grant. I take back the shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Seriously, Grant.
And
Yeah, why do you gotta rescind that?
as far as thinking about it for a while, I don't think I'm going to be able to stop thinking about it. So thanks.
Somebody shut him off.
Off
I'm
switch.
still laughing. Hold on.
No, guys, we don't want to make too much fun of him because you know what happened last time.
Oh, yeah, no
18
kidding.
pages of fuck you, Lee.
Leave the co-host alone.
Leave co-host alone.
Actually, as I recall, that was fuck you, Ruby.
Yeah, where is Ruby? Her and her. Isn't that her living wearing Halloween costumes?
She's not actually responding to my emails anymore. Of course, admittedly, they're all pictures of me naked, but still. Anyway, let's just go on.
I don't
to
respond to
questions.
those either.
Oh, did I accidentally add you into that group? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had to put you on spam blocker. Sorry.
Ghost Rider, the beloved Ghost
beloved
Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Asked us a question she's been trying to get through for a while on other posts, just general posts she's asked. And this is the appropriate one. She says, okay, I'm going to ask you again, what are your favorite classic horror films? And by classic, I mean from the silent era to 1970. My Halloween wish is to hear the answer this year.
Well, thanks, Ghost Rider. Now, who do we have next?
We don't watch anything that was created before Saw.
You know what? I got to go with my two favorite horror films. The Exorcist, of course, because it's like, wow, was that movie like genuinely scary?
That's not before 70.
Like 1976.
before 1970?
Wait, before 70?
Yeah.
Before 70.
Listen to
Oh,
the
before
question.
70? Oh, shit.
Come on, you were around like during the 40s.
Yeah, the 1840s.
Then I'm going to go with Dr. Sardonicus.
Cool.
Mr. Sardonicus.
I just got.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Mr. Sardonicus.
I just got sent that. I've never seen it. I'm really looking forward.
Dude, I showed it at one of our Real Deal movie nights.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
I missed
Okay.
that one.
Yeah, it's one of those movies like when I watch it now, I watch it more to like kind of enjoy and laugh at it. But when I was a kid and I saw that, it fucked me up.
He is still a creepy son of a bitch.
And that's William Castle, of course, who did all the classic films like The Tingler and the ones where he had special effects built into the theater to fuck with the audiences.
But he did actually make some good movies. A really good one is not the Haunting at Hill House, the House on Haunted Hill.
Oh yeah,
Vincent Price.
the original, not that
Yeah.
weird remake that they made.
Not the weird remake that they did.
The good one?
Vincent Price, the good one. Very great, black and white, 1960s. But I really think, like, if we're talking, like, classic stuff, the people that really started all were the Universal horror movies.
Yep.
And those were the most important of which being Dracula, 1931 with Bela Lugosi, Frankenstein with Boris Karloff, The Mummy with Boris Karloff, and The Bride of Frankenstein with Boris Karloff. I mean, that's the DNA for the monster movie.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Which do you prefer, Frankenstein or The Bride?
As far as
Bride.
quality filmmaking, Bride rocks.
See, I think when people
Yeah.
start naming like sequels that are better than the first movie,
That's the-
they often
yeah.
forget The Bride of Frankenstein, and I think
that,
that's one of them.
That has one of the most heartbreaking, and it's not the final line, I don't think, but it's one of the last lines where, I'm going to spoil the fucking 60-year-old, 70-year-old movie.
Spoiler.
Hey,
70.
70-year-old, where he's about to throw the switch.
It's also where in the first movie, the Frankenstein's monster cannot speak, and he is taught to speak in the second movie in a scene that is, if you've ever seen Young Frankenstein, Gene Hackman's role. That's what it's ripped off from. But it's actually very poignant in the movie. It's very cool.
They say he's about to flip this switch and kill everyone in the castle, and they say, no, don't. You're going to kill us all, or something to that effect. And Frankenstein, heartbroken that his new bride does not love him and is terrified of him, he grabs the switch and he looks at everyone and he says, "We belong dead." And he's just heartbroken.
Damn.
And he throws the switch and
you thought that was sad?
burns it all down.
You thought that was sad?
You shut the fuck up, robot.
Puss.
Come on.
Yeah,
who in high school didn't wish they could do something like that?
This sounds like every relationship I've ever had.
Here we go.
Pull the
again.
switch! Pull the switch, Allison!
Yeah, except for the whole dying at the end thing.
So I wish.
Yeah, you wish.
Hey, Allison dies a little inside every time that happens.
No one escapes high school without getting their heart broken and wishing they could have that moment.
She came back for the remake.
Going a little bit further up the pike, I'm going to talk a lot on this one because it's the one that I know most about, and the rest of all the slasher stuff and contemporary horror I don't know shit about. So bear with me. Val Lewton stuff, Cat People, Curse of the Cat People, I Walked with the Zombie, The Grave Robber. These are some amazing stuff that because of the Universal horror movie success, RKO Pictures went to a guy named Val Lewton and they were like, make us some B horror movies, and he took and got these young writers to do these really incredible scripts, got really incredible directors, one of whom was Robert Wise, who went on to do The Haunting.
When they said make some B monster movies, Val Lewton basically said, "No, fuck you guys. Those are dumb."
I'm actually going to make some good movies, and they're creepy psychological thrillers, and they really utilize the idea that what we fear most is what we can't see. Especially like Cat People and The Leopard Man are the two primary examples of this. But those things are well worth checking out.
Agree.
Cyrus's farts, those are scary.
Also,
sometimes you can see.
I
those,
agree.
though.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Roger Corman's 1960s stuff, especially the stuff that he did that is loosely, and when I say loosely, I meant almost not at all.
You've answered like 4 times, and there are a bunch of us.
I know.
Throw that out
Adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe stuff, Pit and the Pendulum, Mask of the Red Death, The Raven, most of which are all with Vincent Price. Classic, fucking marvelous, macabre, cool stuff, and some of the best opening sequences ever. I mean, just really well filmed.
Vincent Price is in one where they called it, I want to say they called it The Haunted Castle or something like that, but it's actually an adaptation of an...
I think that is The Haunted Castle.
Well, no. Well,
the Castle.
there's one, maybe it is The Haunted Castle, but it was named after an Edgar Allan Poe story. But if you watch it, it's actually The Strange Case of Charles Dexter Ward, which is H.P. Lovecraft.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good.
They actually showed that at the Alamo just a couple of nights ago because they couldn't get the rights to Mask of the Death.
Oh, okay. Allison,
I was going to see that.
pre-1970.
Oh shit.
I've never seen that one.
I think Bo took
It's
them all.
good. You did.
I have two
Lots of
favorites.
boobies.
I have two favorites. One, okay, it's no secret. I'm a bit gothy around the edges. So I'm going to have
Like
to
The
say The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all creepy and German expressionist.
It was almost like the beginning of German expressionism, if not
Yeah,
It was
definitive.
well, it was
It
pretty
is
much the
the-
beginning of horror.
There's a really good German expressionistic film package you can get on Amazon.com, and most of them are kind of horror related, so well worth getting.
Man,
and
every time,
holds up to this day. I mean, it's creepy now.
What's funny is like you look at it and it's like you realize how inexpensive it all is in the sets and what they're doing, and yet it's so creative and creepy and surreal, despite the fact that it's cardboard and black paint. And every time I go to a local haunted house, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
And you watch it and you think, oh, this is what Tim Burton was trying to do.
Yeah.
And wasn't that film like one of the originators of like the quote unquote shocking ending or surprise endings?
Yeah, it was pretty surprising, but I think mostly it's saying
You're thinking Sleepaway Camp.
all. I know what you did last summer.
That's a good one. That's all.
I know what you did last summer, and that was get sexual reassignment surgery.
I tell you, every time I hear about this, I just think like, man, I want to open a seafood restaurant called the Cabinet of Dr. Calamari.
Was that one of the
And
Halloween
serve
jokes?
He had a
Crazy
Halloween
good
joke.
lobster.
It's a trap. Your taste buds can't withstand flavor of this magnitude.
Come for the freak, stay for the food.
Free brine shrimp in every beer.
What was your other one?
But also, in fact, I was just speaking to Jason about this a short time ago. There was a black and white film that I had to watch in horror film class that, blew my mind because it was so leaps and bounds beyond anything that's happening right now in its creepiness. And that's a movie called The Innocents, which is super creepy, black and white, ghost story kind of thing with all kinds of like creepy overtones, and you should totally check it out.
Very similar to The Others with Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
And The Others borrows a lot from The Innocents.
I like both of them.
Yeah, they're both really good, but it's very similar, and it is just The Innocents is the spookiest damn movie.
It's super
ever.
spooky, and it's one of those things where it's like, am I going crazy? I could possibly be going crazy. Maybe there are
And in
pills
Allison's case,
for
the
this.
answer to that is generally yes.
Well, it's funny how like back in that black and white period, there's a lot of movies that were all about some guy marrying a woman and driving her crazy. Like, apparently it was easy to convince everyone, like, oh, this woman has gone crazy.
The House
Everybody
on
go like,
Haunted
oh,
Hill,
yeah,
right?
on. Just,
Less
you just
diabolique.
ship her off.
Or however you say that,
Well, and
diabolique.
even go back, Gaslight and Rebecca, two classic thrillers, are
true.
very much about that.
It was quite prevalent. It's like, why get divorced? I'll just tell everybody my wife is crazy. She'll get sent to a sanitarium, and then I can hook up with my girlfriend.
And it's not even a question of why get divorced. It's like back then, it was hard to get a divorce. I mean, you couldn't just say,
So
hey,
you had to drive him crazy.
well, I mean,
Or kill 'em like
but
Henry
yeah,
Day.
you couldn't just go and say, "Hey, we don't get along," because they'd be like, "Well, fuck you. You told God that you're never
Nobody
breaking
else
up,
does.
so you're fucked."
So guys, if you're upset that it doesn't seem like you can meet a woman these days without her being secretly crazy, blame Vincent Price.
Exactly.
Thanks, Vincent.
Kristen,
Thanks a lot.
pre-1970, what's yours?
I actually have one. I love the Lon Chaney's Fan of the Opera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love the musical, and I even love the film adaptation of the musical, and I saw those things before I saw the Lon Chaney. So when I sat down to watch the Lon Chaney one, I was like, oh wow, like
the guy who wrote the play actually took a lot from the original, stayed pretty true to it, I felt.
Wait, isn't that all based on Phantom of the Paradise?
No.
Shut up. God, that movie fucking sucks.
Dude, I love Phantom of the
I like
Paradise.
that
I know, me too.
But when I look at the,
You
like,
should,
the
like,
original
form a
Lon Chaney
club
Phantom of
and,
the
like, hang
Opera,
out.
I like now I go like, you know what? If this guy was to visit a dentist and a barber, it would probably turn his whole life around.
Yeah. My
They didn't have dentistry and hair cutting in Paris of the late 1800s.
But true, back then it was
Are
all,
you mad?
It was all leeches for them.
But yeah, I
Take these 5 leeches and call me in the morning.
Just go
But
down
my
to the
face has
Moulin
been burned off.
Rouge.
I do
Chaney,
love that
anything,
story. Yeah, it's a great story, and I haven't seen of the 3 versions I've seen, I haven't seen one I've disliked, but the original, yeah, definitely go back and watch the original silent film era one.
The great thing about like a lot of these early movies, the Universal stuff and the silent movies, is that they contain a lot of the stuff that we think is corny now, but back then wasn't so corny, and it's really atmospheric and cool and Halloweeny. I mean, as far as like the haunted house, the scary castle, spooky cobwebs everywhere. You don't get those in horror movies anymore, but back then you got it a lot, and they're very beautiful in their own way, and they're very like evocative. I watch this stuff every Halloween just because it puts me in such a great mood for being spooky.
You know what? I'm curious here. I want to ask Kayla, because I know that Kayla has a lot of experience with 70s and 80s, but do you have pre-70s stuff that you really like?
Yeah, I've seen most of the stuff they've talked about, and right now it's really sad because I am exhausted. So my brain isn't working at all, and I'm like, I know the movie that I want to talk about.
Well, you should balance the rest of us because we're just drunk, so.
Yeah, you could have a run of the board.
So my brain's just not working. But the guy who did The Great McGinty and Miracle on Morgan's Creek, what's his name?
God, he's the same guy who did the Lady Eve and,
Yes.
If only we had access to some web-based program that could tell us.
what do
his
you
name.
call that?
Oh, but
I don't know.
yeah, what's
Damn
it?
it.
Preston
It's
Sturgis.
it's
Preston
But
Sturgis. Yeah. Oh, right on.
he has this great. I went through like this past year has been nothing but Preston Sturgis movie. I watched
Sweet.
actually like his entire catalog that's available.
He was
And-
arguably the first auteur in film.
Yeah,
Arguably.
and by the way, if you're a film fan at all and you haven't seen Sullivan's Travels, go out there and watch it too.
And the Lady Eve.
And the Lady Eve, yeah.
And Miracle on Morgan's Creek.
Yeah, pretty much
They're-
Preston Sturges, period.
But he has this amazing horror movie where this guy thinks his wife is cheating on him, and as he's going through all the emotional stages, he's writing music, and the music's based on his emotions, and he's killing his wife
What's
in
the name of
different
the film?
ways.
Okay, I'll look it up. Keep talking.
So
he's
yeah.
killing her softly with his song.
No, that's Roberta Flack. Or
right.
actually,
No, Roberta Flack. That's right.
well, yeah, but she's actually, you know who she's talking about in that song?
Oh, I heard it once. I don't
Wyclef
remember.
Jean?
It's Don. It's Don McLean. The
Oh,
guy,
really?
the guy who wrote American Pie.
American Pie,
yeah.
really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
that the guy who's killing Roberta Flack, one of the most beautiful black women who's ever laid down anything in vinyl. The guy who killed her softly with a song. Big white hick boy named Don McLean.
Actually, he was like a fidget.
A fidget?
A fidget?
What's
He
was
he's wiggling a lot?
What was he small? What?
Yeah. Fidget is a
That's
contraction
midget.
of fucking midget.
Wow.
No one else has
How are
heard
we supposed
this?
to know that?
So what's
You
a
guys
kitchen
didn't know this?
then?
You know, as if our shins weren't safe enough.
And to tie it back to the
Jesus.
Beatles, she lives in the Dakota where John Lennon lived.
In the Dakota.
Okay.
Who's that?
Who's
Wow.
Who?
And somehow we didn't have a mic left over for Greg, huh?
So,
Clever.
All
on
right.
my
While we're
part,
searching for this, Grant, do you
Yeah,
have,
Grant, did you have?
Grant's seen like 3 horror movies. No, he doesn't have
I
anything.
didn't even know that movies came out before the 70s.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Well, I usually
By
adhere
the way,
to-
Grant, I'm never being nice to you again.
I usually adhere to the rule
You were
that
nice to me?
movies were invented May 25th, 1977, but sometimes I find something that deviates from that rule.
What
such
what
as-
happened on that day?
It was the white event
Well,
that created the pop
Jason, you
culture
being
universe.
the master of horror, at least in this room.
Or the masturbator of horror, one of the two.
Both.
Precisely.
Pre-1970,
I'll take
I got to
choice
go
B.
with the 1968 original that created Zombies as We Know Them, Night of the Living Dead. That is truly a claustrophobic, fucked up film that devolves into. I mean, it starts off as this social satire of people walling themselves off from the troubles of the world, and all of these different people kind of coming together to try to survive in the oncoming apocalypse, and it just breaks down into this every man for himself Alamo siege movie, and it's so claustrophobic with askew angles and cheap budgets and lots of chiaroscuro, and it's just so damn good.
Greatest
And
horror
it's
film
been-
ever made. I always watch it
Hey
every
man,
Halloween night.
It's one of those classic movies that establishes that the black guy doesn't have to be the first one to die.
Yes.
But he does have to die.
He sort of does, but he's still a badass when he does die.
Well, I've told this anecdote before, and people have asked George Romero. They've said, well, why did you cast Dwayne Jones as the lead character? Were you trying to say something, trying to cast a black man? Because in 1968, casting
He's a black
man,
guy. He's willing to work for nothing.
Yeah, right. They're
Sorry.
Well, hey, on top of that, he gets to slap a white bitch. So.
Right. Well, they said, well, so
Which,
you were.
if none of you have ever done that, oh man, it is awesome.
Is it the bomb? Like I always hear,
just
is it
once.
the bomb?
Just once.
I'm about to do it.
God damn it! If only it was the 1960s, I could do that.
Well, but yeah, they asked and they said, well, were you trying to just say something about racism in the 60s and cast a black man as the lead? And George Romero said, no, he just gave the best reading. Which I thought was fucking awesome.
But I can't buy that because.
Come on.
But having the cops shoot him at the end is so poignant. Like that makes up like a huge
Oh,
statement.
fine. I hadn't seen it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, spoiler.
The spoiler.
Wait, 48.
Spoiler strike
I'm
again.
sorry. The spoiler strikes again. I didn't give you enough time to see that movie.
I came here from the past in a spaceship. So I haven't seen a lot.
Night of the Living Dead is pretty cool.
Speaking of great originals that have been remade umpteen million times.
Pay attention. This is Bo's ninth answer to the
Indeed.
question.
Hey, dude, when you guys start talking about the Slash stuff, I got nothing to say. So there we go. If you watched I Am Legend and were resolutely disappointed, as if you have any taste, you should be.
Right
man,
on.
It's cool that the
I
dog
like
gets
it.
killed.
Please, by all means, go and watch
The Last Man
The
on
Last
Earth.
Man on Earth with Vincent Price.
Much
yet again.
better.
Much better. Public domain, which means it's free.
You can see it on the internet.
You can download it on the
I
internet.
can download it and not get in trouble.
Exactly.
I'm sure someone in the comments of this will put a YouTube version up on the thing, and you should watch it. It's
Exactly,
fucking
you
great.
should. It is the superior version of the film. It's based on the original novel, I Am Legend, and nobody's come even close to equaling.
Leon's right though. I Am Legend
Omega
is
Man?
I Am Legend is not a bad I Am Legend is not a bad movie until the best actor dies. The
Yeah,
dog.
the dog.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you very
Yeah,
much.
I mean,
Did
like-
they kill the dog? Answer yes or no.
I mean, really.
No, there's no dog that die. Okay, I'll watch it.
Dude,
I mean,
the dog
I'm with
always
Allison.
dies.
It's a weird thing because it starts out really good, and you're like, hey, I think they're gonna pull it off. And when the dog dies, it fails on so many different
downhill.
levels.
The dog was the star.
Okay.
I mean, the dog was a star, but plus the story just gets weaker after
Well,
that.
Smith has no one to play off of after that.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
wanna-
he's like the dog, even though obviously he's not saying anything, is the person that Smith is acting off of, and they make good use of the dog.
Yeah.
When he's not there anymore, it just falls
It's
apart.
true.
But then he
If
quotes
only-
Shrek a lot.
If only they could have, like, held up a photo of Tom Cruise above the camera every time he was acting, that movie could have been so much fucking better. I think you're doing great, Cuba. I mean, Will, whichever one you are.
I tell you what, if he would have ran into
Hell's
DJ Jazzy Jeff, that would have been fucking badass, Because then they can really go fucking
Oh my
beat
God,
some vampire
man,
ass together and write songs about it. That'd be so
Summertime.
fucking.
Co-host, you nailed it. I just see the end of that
Summertime.
movie like he finds the last survivor and it's him, and then over the ending credits with the two of them on some decrepit double turntable mix. But let me tell you a little story about a lamb that was dead.
Sounds where I spend most of my days.
Unfortunately, DJ Jazzy Jeff was doing the CGI. That was some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life.
The guy needs to work.
Okay. One high point of the movie, I sat in it, and I was saying, oh shit, those zombies screaming sound a lot like Mike Patton.
And sure enough.
Guess who is the zombie screaming voice? Mike Patton. I heart you. And
Kenny Rogers? Oh, no, that's Mike Patton.
That's so
Well, you
weird
know.
because when I watched I Am Legend, I felt exactly the same way that you did, that I had sat in something. So,
Allison, you're a Mike Patton
right
fan?
there with you.
I so heart Mike Patton. It's unusual.
Can I make love to you tonight under the
He
pale
is-
moonlight?
He's like a chubby little happy version of Henry Rollins. That's weird.
Okay, now what's the other recent
No,
film that
he's
Mike
much-
Patton was in as well? Huh?
Huh?
Where he played a voice actor. Yeah?
I know the recent film he scored that's good.
Well, yeah, we know that one. But
yeah.
eh,
Wait,
eh,
wait.
Allison?
I don't know. Tell me.
Transformers 2!
Oh yeah. That's
Oh, okay,
true.
don't watch that.
He played
It's,
Devastator.
it's not worth
Though
it.
his
true.
actual
Hey,
movie,
guess what other movie
the
we're
Freak
not
Show
mentioning
movie.
tonight?
Well, if we're talking horror.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a true horror
No,
film. in every sense
there's
of
a
the
difference between a movie that scares you and a movie that makes you want to rip out your eyeballs, cover them with gasoline, and set them on fire.
word. Seeing Devastator's balls will do that to you.
Well, Allison was saying something about, when you kill the dog, you lose her, and I'm right there with you.
That's why Old Yeller is the best movie ever made.
One of the best horror films, horror moments, is at the end of the original Amityville Horror, where the family is leaving, shit's hitting the fan, the walls are bleeding, and they're halfway down the block on their way to freedom in the middle of the storm, and someone asks, "Where's the dog?" James Brolin turns the car around, goes back into the house from hell to get the dog.
He pulls a Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Fucking
for a dog, I'd be like,
I am not leaving anything without my fucking dog,
no,
man.
I'm sorry. I'd be like, you know what? If you and
I will shoot myself in the head before I leave
Kristen,
my
if
dog.
you and I were leaving the Amityville Horror House and all that shit was going on in the end, you start freaking out, I would knock you unconscious and
We
keep
would
driving.
have.
I would wake up
Yeah,
unconscious and gut
you're
the fuck
better
out
than
of
me.
you.
Here's a
I
little
would've just
thing
booted her out
that
of the
you
car.
might.
We would have.
Here's a little thing that might assuage this argument a little bit. If your house is haunted by supernatural spirits, your dog's gonna be the first motherfucker out of that house.
true,
He's gonna be
that's
like, hey, guess what? There's a ghost living here. See yas.
The only person to
I'll
beat
be
the
at
dog.
the nice house around the bend.
Only person to get out before your dog is your black friend.
Exactly.
Well, assuming they get out.
And yet, as he's exiting,
And
he'll die.
For those of you who have gone on my FAQ page and asked why Leon is my friend, there you go. He is my ghost
Cyrus.
insurance
He's like a
policy.
canary. He's
Cyrus.
like a canary in a coal mine.
Would
man.
you go?
Exactly.
Cyrus,
I in fact have a little cage on a pole that I lure him into new real estate deals.
Cyrus, would you go back into the Amityville house for Kang and Kodos?
No, fuck them. I love my cats, but not enough to
But
die.
guess what? Your cats don't fucking love you.
I know.
I'm
Because cats are
sorry.
incapable of love.
And as our dogs by that same
That
argument.
would be
Like
one of
hell.
those.
You
Pull
wanna
this
run back
car
in-
over right now. I am getting out right now. That would be one of those typical like girlfriend boyfriend moments where you're at the gas station and you're like, "Let me out of this car. I am going back for the dog."
Sweetheart,
And
I'll
by
be-
Cyrus's logic, he would let you out of the car.
Yes, I would.
yes. I'd be on Leon talking about how, hey, man, I left Allison back at the
I was like,
haunted house.
he's like, I loved her, no, but that bitch was crazy.
Yeah, bitch was crazy. and the thing is, guys all have a language. Like, you say, like, man, you guys seem so perfect together. What happened? That bitch was crazy. And all your guy friends are like, okay, yeah, there you go. That's enough.
Cyrus would have a new girlfriend put up on his wish list so fast that your eyeballs would get fucking whiplash.
No, Cyrus and a carload of black guys would be like, it'd be Greg going, "It's a shame what they did to that white girl."
No, actually, the first line spoken in Cyrus and a truck full of black guys is, "So, what do you want to do to him first?"
Hey, man.
Why would I say
That's
that?
not true.
That's true. I'm sorry. They said, so,
No, the other shit was true. That's not true.
so how much do you think he's worth?
I would totally say pussy from a burning house.
Wait, do you mean a cat?
Wow, for Greg.
Your cats. Oh, yeah.
All right,
I've
we've
really touched
ridden
them.
we've ridden this segue as far as it can go
Let's
into the
move
chamber of
Next
horror.
question.
Next question.
Next song in the bank.
An hour later.
Next song.
Next song. Next song.
Spider John says, "What are some of the stupidest horror monsters of all time?"
None. Never. None.
Wow.
You like them all, huh?
There's never been even one, Kayla?
No.
Not even one that you
Not
like,
even the
that's too
booger
dumb.
monster on the metal one.
What?
Watch the original series Star Trek episode of Cat's Paw and the aliens that end up at the end.
Oh my God!
they're great.
Okay, but
No, they're cute as the Dickens.
No,
They're
no.
cute as the
They're not
Dickens.
scary,
but I
no.
gotta tell you, like the very first time I saw that with those things, they freaked me completely
That's
out.
because you were 3.
I know, no, it's true. I was.
And
I was
your
3 years
dad
old.
said, if I catch you watching Star Trek again, I'm gonna beat your ass.
I was 3 years old, and when I saw those, I was so freaked out. When I watch them now, I can't do anything but laugh.
What booger monster? What are you talking about? Booger monster?
From that, where they go into the metal band, they go into the barn to record songs, and everyone's dying, and there's like demons, and the demons like
I did not
have
see this
booger
film,
stuff,
but she saw
and then at the end, the twist. I can't tell you the twist.
No,
'cause
tell me the twist. I don't know.
You don't
what
remember the
you're
movie?
talking about.
Can you say who was in it, who directed it, who wrote it, anything?
Well, the
Give
big thing-
Wikipedia something to work with.
The famous twist is that
Paul Rubin, punch that in.
that it was supposed to be the devil who was making them think all this stuff was happening so he could take over them, but then the twist is that the heavy metal dude is like an angel, an archangel, and then the archangel
Is that
and
Trick or Treat with Ozzy Osbourne and
no,
Gene
but that
Simmons?
one's excellent.
God, that's what I was just thinking about.
Okay, I'm gonna say the stupidest movie monster, and I'm probably gonna get punched squaw in the nuts for saying this, but
You're the one who's chose to sit next
He's
to
sitting,
Kayla.
yeah.
she knows what I'm gonna say too. The Deadly Spawn.
Oh,
There was a punching
She
that
did punch
occurred.
me.
that is pretty lame, in fact.
Hey,
but
They're horrible.
I'm sorry.
they're adorable, and they
No, adorable
And
doesn't
they-
enter into it.
oh, like
like it's like they're not scary, so they're stupid.
They're
Yeah.
toothy parasites that, again, I've brought it up before, look like the little hand puppet from Hordak's lair.
I mean, I'm
from
the guy
He-Man
who has been watching Doctor Who since the 70s, and I fully admit that every single alien and monster and demon and beast from 1,000 leagues under the sea is the dumbest thing ever, and yet I would hug them all and put them on my wall. But that's
God,
a totally
Kayla looks
different
like
thing.
she's about to cry. Okay,
Be a man,
Punch
Caleb,
him
be
some
a
more.
man.
I'd be okay with that.
defend your stupid aliens.
Oh.
You should, guys, y'all would all jump on Jason and beat him to death.
I
if you could
only
see his
You're
said-
welcome to
face.
do it too.
I only
wrong,
said
Jason.
it to bait you, Kayla. Go for it.
Go away, Baton.
they're just so magical. They're
Like Lucky Charms?
yeah, like I just want to take them home and be with them forever. Like they're a little
Okay.
toothy and they eat your vegetarian grandmas. I mean, what's better than that?
Okay.
Wait,
you,
is this
you,
Troll 2 we're talking about then now?
No,
Okay.
this is Demon Spawn.
Okay, you win.
Because Troll 2 is right there in the dumbest monster.
You said it with such conviction and starry-eyed love that I can't really argue with that.
Aw.
Jason, give her a hug.
Okay.
Dude, it's like
Yeah,
such a
they're
different
hugging now.
context.
Now touch
No,
her
but
breast.
like,
I go to pee and all I hear is Troll 2.
Oh, what was that?
That's what you missed.
It's through such a different lens you guys are looking at things, though, that it's like, there's no way y'all will ever understand each other. I can't even believe y'all do these videos together. It's like watching somebody speak French and somebody speak ancient Egyptian, and y'all are like,
Hey, I'd watch that. I'd watch that.
We agree on some points, like in our first one, the Deadly Debates. Check it out; it's posted.
Where? Where is this posted?
The League Lounge.
God, fucking pay attention to the League Lounge,
Sorry.
robot.
I'm busy.
Bucket of bolts.
yeah, he's busy with his really successful Let's Do This group.
Answering fan mail and yeah.
I've heard of that.
He's busy downloading porn into his
Oh, no.
gigabytes.
Kayla and I have been recording some stuff with the help of Bo, who is working the camera. We've been recording debates about horror movies. One of us takes the affirmative, one takes the negative, and we posted up the first one, animated by Fish, which
Oh, Fish,
outshines
you're awesome.
everything
Oh
he
my
did.
God. His opening animation is
Good
He's
God.
incredible. He's
Yeah.
just.
It's
oh.
like having John Williams score a fucking trauma movie.
Did you guys see that image you just cranked out in like 30
Oh, the one of
minutes?
you with the megaphone?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The one where I
incredible.
didn't have a chin? Yeah, that's great.
He posted on Facebook. He's like, "What's a great Leog moment?" And all of a sudden he's like, "Never mind, I got one." And then 30 minutes later, he just like delivers that
Yeah.
image fully colored of it's of me and I'm looking good.
That's
I
pretty
gotta wonder
admit.
why you liked it so
Yeah.
much.
It's
Greg.
pretty
Yeah.
impressive, even though he forgot to draw my chin.
Yeah, you
So
know what?
did
God
God.
seemed to forget that.
I really expected So did the flying spaghetti monster.
Yeah.
Is that the best comeback you got?
No, but the rest of them.
That's a back coming.
Man.
You're like the only Irishman with no chin.
I have a chin.
He's got a great
He has a very Irish chin.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Grant's on a roll.
You can use that to like block
Jason,
off real
you
estate.
gonna take that?
I have a chin second only to Bo.
This is so like that moment in Goodfellas with Spider, like, oh, Spider. Joe Pesci, you gonna take that from me?
Dude, I
You're
am
gonna put
not,
my head in a vice.
I am
know
not cleaning Grant up afterwards.
Oh my God. You guys
Jason,
dug a fucking hole
Jason,
like
we're,
before? I dug a
let's
fucking
just use
hole.
both of our chins and crush this little fucking.
No,
Well,
wait.
you know what? You guys are all coming to the party tomorrow, and there's a special surprise.
No. Hold on. Like, much like Goodfellas, Grant is a made man now. You can
Hey.
take it up to a made man.
Like fuck. You know what? I'm
Come on,
burying
Grant.
him.
Tell him to go get his shine box.
I am burying that motherfucker in the same hole that Harris is in right now.
Ah, beautiful.
All right.
Remember, you got to go to your mother's and eat spaghetti at the same time.
Don't have a goddamn.
I say more horror.
I think
Horror.
you're insulting
I
him,
actually
Grant.
hadn't answered
Oh, I'm sorry. Kristen has.
Little bit you insulting.
Hey,
Let's
in-
go back to the
All right,
question.
now-
in response to that, next question.
Enough.
No,
Next
we haven't answered this question yet
Oh,
because
shit.
Which I
it hasn't
wanted
gone
to
around.
answer. I'm gonna say this: I haven't read the book, and I know how Stephen King books go to movies very differently. But
Yes.
okay, in it, you spend 2 hours, or more than 2 hours, with horrifying clown with very pointy teeth, horrifying, and then at the end, he's a big spider.
Yeah, dumbest.
I'm like, that was the dumbest. That
well, I
was
mean,
awful.
it's hard to say worst Stephen King ending because there's
It's,
so much
I know.
competition.
No, oh, I know.
But that-
as far as monsters are concerned, you cannot step up from a clown that sits in the sewers with scary teeth going, they all float down. You can't beat that.
And when that clown goes, you know what'd be scary? A big spider. And even the kids are like, eh.
Yeah, it's a spider.
I know. It would have been
No.
better if they had done the same, the other way around for the whole
Yeah,
thing.
if he'd been a
I've
spider
been
in the
pursued my
sewers.
whole life by a giant spider, but now that I'm old, I'm not afraid of him. Well, what if I turned into
That's
a giant clown with scary teeth? Oh, God!
I tell you what, it looked fucking retarded in that movie, and the whole time I was watching, I was like, 4 hours wasted for this.
Okay, my neighbor down the street from me has a on his lawn. He's got like this topiary bush.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
With
It's
huge
awesome.
like pipe cleaner type things sticking out that make it look like a giant spider, and it looked better than the one in fucking It.
Yeah,
Hey
it
man, but that launched that spider's career. It really took off in the second Harry Potter movie, and then in Lord of the Rings.
No,
Yeah.
it was great in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I was shocked it didn't get a nomination.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean that spider's worked hard. It's deserved it.
But I tell you
it's
what,
due.
Eight-Legged Freaks was his worst fucking work
Yeah.
ever. I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
liked Eight-Legged Freaks.
It had a
so
minor
fuck
career
you.
bump and arachnophobia, but
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna say that Jar Jar Binks. But
No, God!
Oh, what have you
Now
done?
you're insulting Kayla. What's your problem?
No.
I love Kayla. I'm just kidding.
They just
Jar
want me
Jar
to
Binks
cry.
isn't a monster. He's an alien.
yeah, George Lucas is
A
the monster.
sweet.
Nice.
He is a sweet, sweet alien that alienated every black person in America from the Star Wars franchise.
KK.
Except, okay, I have my Jar Jar Binks. I put a ghost costume on him, and
So now he's a spook.
Clan. He's a clan Jar Jar Binks.
All right, no.
You ought to have a burning cross right next to him. That'd be awesome. Right in the front lawn to scare off the kids.
Kayla, you are allowed.
he's getting ready for Watcher in the Woods because
Kayla, you're allowed 4 Irish jokes and 1 black joke.
Hey, Kayla, do you have Mace Windu hanging from a tree?
You guys keep ripping her like this. She's not gonna come back again, and we get her so rarely.
We
Love
do.
Kayla.
Yeah, express some love.
I don't understand the Jar Jar thing, but I'm willing to respect you enough to let it be. Just to let it go.
And
Although I gotta tell you, it's like if you're a good-looking woman, and if I was single and you came to me like, come on, why don't you come back to my house, let's get it on, I wouldn't because there's a giant Jar Jar statue over your bed, and I wouldn't be able to keep an erection or even go to sleep or anything with that.
Actually,
By
That
the
wouldn't
way,
bother me.
Kayla, before that goes any further, You could probably have a picture of Chris. Damn it. You could probably have a picture of Cyrus's parents having sex above your bed, and he would still consent to having sex with you.
No, he's used to
that.
that.
Was totally a joke.
Kayla,
He's from Virginia.
I'm into all those
common.
things, baby. So later tonight, I ain't got no problem with Jar Jar looking at my funky shit.
Yeah, we gonna
He's on the lawn wearing a sheet. All right. Next question.
Wait,
Horror.
did Kayla answer? Wait, who's
What?
Who was talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
My answer was none.
But
None of them.
wait. She did figure out the answer to what movie she was trying to think of.
No,
The Preston Sturges movie.
Oh, did you? Okay.
That was Unfaithfully Yours.
Okay, it was that. Okay,
Yeah.
I got
So-
you gave me the face like I don't know if it is.
And
that or not.
they actually remade it in the 80s
Yes, they did.
with Dudley Moore. And yeah, it's
Which
a
is- so, of
famous
course, no
composer,
one saw.
and as he's composing, he's
Okay, well,
thinking of different ways to kill his
Which
wife.
movie does the quote, "Oh brother, where art thou" come from?
Sullivan's Travels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is, if I had to name my favorite Preston Sturges film, in fact, probably my favorite film made before 1950, that would be it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta check
It's
it out.
Amazing. Okay, you guys ready for the next question?
Yes.
Finally?
Yes.
All right. Seeker says, since Twilight is about to castrate werewolves as well as vampires, I'd love it. Kayla, please don't even tell me that you're a fan of that, too.
I love Twilight. I've read all of them.
See?
All four.
All right, we're just going to move
All
on
four
there.
books.
I'd love to hear the league each name their
I already
favorite.
have my tickets for the midnight.
Kayla, I gave it a matinee, baby.
Wait, can I interject? Can I interject
Yeah.
that LOL thing I was telling you about earlier?
Yeah?
There's a motivational poster up on the LOL, the Isle of Cheeseburger celebrity site. It's got a picture of Edward from Twilight, and it says, "You run around the woods, you don't drink blood, and you sparkle. Face it, you're not a vampire, you're a fairy."
No, you're not a vampire.
It's
I don't
true.
care
You're a
what
fucking
anyone says.
fairy.
He doesn't even have teeth. Please.
No
Oh, really? He
teeth,
doesn't
no
have
sunlight
fangs?
that kills you.
What
yeah,
is the
you're a
pro-
fucking fairy.
How are you a
Fairy.
vampire?
Fairy.
What special? You can say
Fairy.
I'm a vampire all you want. I might as well walk around going I'm Brad Pitt for the
Dude,
more
he-
that makes me.
He
Brad
so
Pitt.
needs to meet Cassidy from Preacher.
Yeah.
well,
right?
to be fair, there are lots of people going around saying that I'm a vampire that can't do any of that shit either. So
Yes,
Uh,
but I
continue with the
don't.
question
I
before I
don't give
interrupted.
them
Yeah.
any more
Yes.
credence.
Hey,
Sorry
have you
for
guys- have you guys-
moaning and dissatisfaction from the question and derailing everything.
You're not the only one who feels
the
that
question,
way.
yeah.
The question.
The
Name-
Question is, I'd love to hear the league each name their favorite werewolf and vampire movies, and I want to start this one out if you guys don't mind.
Just, as long as you don't
Right
take my
ahead.
answer, that's
No,
fine.
I'm gonna go. There's so many werewolf movies that I love. I love werewolf films.
There's a bunch of good
and like
ones.
recently there was not even recently anymore, but Dog Soldiers was a really
Oh, I
cool
still haven't
little
watched that.
British
I have
horror
it at
film.
home. I haven't watched
But
it.
my all-time favorite is An American Werewolf in London.
That-
To
oh,
this
yeah.
day,
Werewolf.
God damn it!
Yeah, you
Still
can
one
go
of
to
the
that one.
great
That one's
movies.
incredible.
In fact, I really hope that they start making more werewolf movies again soon because I
know-
dig
You know what?
werewolves. big
Actually,
time.
that's the big thing. I have some friends in effects, and werewolves is all 2010 is there's a
I think
ton
it's
of
all
werewolf
Poe.
movies
Poe's
and
brought back the werewolf.
Indeed.
So will be him. I will critique Werewolf in London. If I remember correctly, it's one of the ones where they show the skin and the skin rips off to reveal fur underneath.
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
right? And it never made sense to me. I'm like, no, if you're gonna turn into a werewolf, you'll just grow hair. Your skin isn't gonna go away to reveal. That's backwards.
Well, it's so different in so many different things. Like in Trick or Treat, the new one, there's a whole werewolf sequence where you you're watching it, you're like, okay, this is. You can only look at it as they're not wearing human skin on top of werewolves. It's just a way of showing it, which is them ripping off their skin.
Does
and turning
anybody
into
remember
werewolves.
that werewolf TV series that Fox did when
Oh
they
yeah,
first came on the air?
back when they first
Yeah.
launched. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
No,
like
I
it was like Chuck, Jesus, the
What was it
rifleman.
called? But what was
Chuck
it
Connors.
called?
Chuck Connors, thank you.
Werewolf Lord.
But
Damn
it was funny because it was
Werewolf
like one of these
Swag.
Hulk things where they had the budget for him changing to the werewolf twice per episode. And they had a great looking werewolf costume for him to wear, but the mouth couldn't close.
Yeah.
So he would
Yeah.
just stand there snarling and
Oh,
drooling.
I
you know.
think I do remember
I was
that.
kind of saying that they filmed the Incredible Hulk transforming once, and they used it for everything
But
else.
let me
But-
throw up my vampire film too before we go on. And everybody else get their chances. Near Dark is probably
Damn
my
it,
favorite.
that
that
Was it
one's
really?
awesome.
I'm sorry.
Yes, that one's
I
great.
love that movie. It's the leftover effects money from Aliens that they made it with, and it was James Cameron's wife, the producer,
Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow, who directed it, and it's just
So he
wonderful.
married her before Linda.
After.
Yeah.
After.
I believe
no.
after. Wasn't
No, it had to be
no.
before.
Okay,
He
maybe
was
it
married to her, and then after he did Terminator 2, they got divorced and they married.
Grant, what are you trying to say?
One movie answer for both of these.
He
The
just wanted to
Monster
skip
Squad.
Yeah.
Because werewolves got nerds.
Nerds.
It's Wolfman's got
Fuck
nerds.
yeah.
Wolfman.
Fucked
Yeah.
up
got
the
nards.
quote.
It's so good.
Moving on to serious movies, Allison, your favorite werewolf and/or vampire movie, or both?
Totally shut down your.
That is a good movie.
Yeah, no, that's a valid answer.
Yeah, totally great movie.
Thank you.
Uncle Rico.
Werewolf movie, definitely American.
Okay.
Werewolf in London.
Yeah,
That is
werewolf.
that is
The American.
the single,
Never heard of it.
That is the single best transformation.
Oh,
of a werewolf.
totally.
Yeah,
To this
absolutely.
day, I
And-
still don't understand why they keep using CG in the last 18 werewolf movies that have come
It
out.
never looks any good.
It looks like crap every time. It's like, look, they did this in the early 80s. It looks wonderful still today.
It-
With a
so
werewolf
wonderful.
transformation, you got to use practical effects.
Yes, you absolutely have
It's
to.
just too organic. It's too hairy.
Yeah, exactly.
What about Wolfen?
Although,
Well,
I
I'm
liked Wolfen. I gotta say, there were
like
scenes
you
I thought were
vomit out
great.
a werewolf. Is that was the thing?
No, that was really cool.
I'm gonna deflect this back to
Our God is the
Allison, but in the Terry Pratchett's Night Watch series from Discworld, he taught one of the main characters is a
Those are
werewolf,
so
and
good.
you never see her transformation, but he always talks about it was like there's always a very disturbing sound when it happens, and that's it. Yeah, there's something about the transformation of a werewolf that's very visceral. You can hear it, you can see it, and I'm certain on some level you can probably smell it. So yeah, it's just
Although-
like practical effects really need to be used.
Smells like Cyrus does most
although
days.
I've always
Smells like you're molting.
I've always wondered why. Okay, yes, werewolf
mine.
is visceral, right?
Yes.
And especially in American Werewolf in London, it's referring to climax, masturbation, and
Yeah.
climax and that kind of thing. I always wondered why it's always painful. Why isn't transforming into a werewolf kind of like neat? Like you turn, like you're stretching into your werewolfness.
Like you need
Well,
a
think
cigarette
about it.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Think about it. Your balls are getting really big, and they're getting even more hairier. It's
yeah,
horrible.
that
There
should
are-
be like.
There are
Hey,
female
How would
werewolves,
you
though.
know?
And your knees are bending backwards.
Well, like there's Ginger Snaps, which is a
Yeah.
great
Yes.
Yeah.
great film about that
Which is-
uses as a metaphor for a woman going through puberty, and I mean, it in some ways it very much sexualizes it. So it seems like why don't they do that with grown women and make it like where it's an erotic experience to turn into a vampire?
Yeah, so this
which
is
the
my
Howling
beef.
movies kind
Hey,
of
come on.
kinda.
You keep talking. I won't get my answer out.
I'm trying to do my impression of Bo.
Oh.
You're not doing it loud enough.
So that is for a werewolf. I think, maybe we should get some movies where being a werewolf is like kind of
Awesome.
neat, and you get to be this
Yeah.
visceral kind of.
I definitely think it's going there.
Feral
I mean, the
creature.
sexualization of the old movie horror tropes is definitely prevalent. I mean,
Let's
it started
see
with
that.
the vampire, but I definitely think it's coming to the. I'm really curious to see what the new werewolf movie with what's his face is.
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
Martin,
I'm
I thought you were
skeptical.
talking about
you're.
Twilight, too.
I'm skeptical, I think it'll be a boring period piece with punctuated moments of coolness.
The trailer is not impressive at all.
The
No,
second
it's
trailer
it's very
is
Van
better.
Helsing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Leon, do you have any answers?
Che
Well,
3.
I'm sorry.
God damn it. Yeah.
I got an answer. Hold on.
Werewolf, as werewolves go, like, man, I absolutely love everything about the third Harry Potter movie. And even though it's a CG transformation, I love everything with Professor Lupin. That is such an
I
awesome
love
whole.
Lupin.
Yeah.
That
the
is
way the
pretty
werewolf
cool.
is woven into the story, and I can forgive the CG.
Oh, that's the chick answer.
Man,
But
fuck that kid.
My all-time favorite werewolf movie is The Howling because you get so many werewolves in there, and I love the whole story. And I read the book where it was like this all was
And
like
you really need
started with a rape.
you really need a pack.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you do.
you know.
And I love like you get into like one like there's so many showdowns in it, but there's that one where the report is going against all the werewolves. He's like, look, I got silver bullets. Silver bullets, my ass. And blam! Oh shit, he really does. I'm dead.
Okay,
And the big ending with the new you said no female werewolves, big time pretty female werewolf changing on the air.
Oh, one of-
news.
Yeah, one of the great horror movie endings.
I mean, it really was like during that time when, like, you know, co-host and I were talking about this early, like our parents first getting cable, and when we had Showtime, that movie was in heavy rotation on Showtime, and I must have watched it every single time it came on.
That was before my father abandoned me.
I'm gonna throw this out there.
What was it, a Vic 20?
I'm gonna throw this out there, and
Asian guy.
if you don't like it, just send it right on back. Corey Haim and Gary Busey.
Yeah, no. Silver Bullet's a fucking.
motherfucker.
I mean,
Sorry,
if
I'm gonna
somebody
throw that right back.
If somebody remade that today with like good production values, that's a great werewolf
I
story.
think The Onion made fun of that this week, in fact.
Oh, I don't know.
I tell you
Because
what,
the
though.
Onions never made fun of anything good.
But Gary Busey was the one guy you always wish you had as an uncle. Am I right?
And well, I don't know about that.
Had those Gary Busey.
But Gary Busey is definitely the person all of us would certainly suspect of being a werewolf.
Yeah,
So-
Gary Busey's the guy. Like, if he turned into a werewolf, you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah,
Totally
I always
saw that
figured.
coming.
Yeah.
He made that totally cool kick-ass wheelchair motorcycle.
Yeah, but see, the guy that played the werewolf in that movie, the preacher, he was the creepiest fucking actor.
I just didn't like that movie. I didn't like that book, but I like the art in the book. The art was cool.
The art was cool.
Was it Bernie Wrightson?
I don't remember.
Yes,
who
I
did
think
it.
so.
Was it Bernie Wrightson?
Oh, well,
I think it was.
that's great horror art.
I will just say one more thing about the werewolf genre. I had a sci-fi teacher back in the college days named Susie McKee Charnas, and she wrote short stories which were pretty good, and one of them was called Boobs. And it was about
My favorite author.
and it was about a teenage girl who turns into a werewolf, and that's kind of my basis for why werewolves
Tell me more.
we should explore that kind of, like, werewolves are always like this kind of painful
So as she got her
sexuality.
boobs, she became
a
yeah.
werewolf.
That sounds very similar
Well,
to Ginger
yeah,
Snaps,
that's
which
very
Yes.
similar to
uses it as a metaphor for coming of age.
I
and
think-
puberty and
Boobs predates ginger.
So were there any
ginger
scenes
snaps.
where she was hanging out with other werewolves that were female?
No,
and, like,
she was
Those
going
boobs,
around
they are
and-
hot and sexy unless they're covered in hair.
Hey.
And then all of a sudden, not so much.
Hey,
it
I
makes
don't know.
sense.
Mine is Howling 2. Seriously.
Are you serious?
Yes!
Answering the
Girl.
unanswered
She-
questions from Howling 1.
I
See,
suddenly
really not
thought about who I
Howling
was talking
3,
to.
the Australian one?
With-
Come on.
with awesome exposure of Sybil Danning's globular
Sybil Danning.
endowment.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah.
Globular.
To be fair, there wasn't a film she was in that didn't have awesome exposure.
But this
of
during
that.
the credits of Howling 2 are the greatest
Yeah.
fucking
Battle Beyond the Stars.
ever.
Okay,
Now,
except
now,
that.
now, is Howling 3 the Howling with the song where they actually put the Howling title in the song? It's like the Howling. The
Howling, nothing but
Howling.
howling.
Is that it?
Nothing
Is that
but
it?
howling.
Is that Howling 2? Well, Kayla said
I
Howling
think it's
2.
Howling 3, probably.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think you might be
Kayla,
right.
I never saw all of Howling 2.
I,
so if you could,
I
like,
believe it was Howling 4 where they did the Howling rap.
That's it. Maybe that's it.
I want to say, like, we were given two questions. We were given vampires and werewolves. I just want to say, I'm firmly on the side of the classic vampire. This whole, like, romanticizing of vampires as these tortured souls. It's bullshit. Vampires don't have souls. That's what makes them fucking vampires. That's why I love it. Read the original fucking Dracula. Dracula is a monster. That's what vampires should be. I
He's
don't like this
stinky.
all like, oh, I'm sad because I have to drink blood and live forever.
Yeah.
Bullshit. I
See,
hate that.
That's
you know?
what pisses me off is because
Exactly. I love, like, Buffy vampires, with the exception of Spike
those that end up
and
doing that?
Angel, the main characters that are weepy. Oh, I have a soul.
But you love them,
But
though.
I do love them, but I
Fail.
mean, how vampires should be is the vampires that are getting staked all the fuck to hell.
See, I want
That's how that's how they should be, and that's why my favorite movie, Vampires, are the traditional Frank Langella as Dracula.
Oh, thank you so much for
Bela
bringing that up.
Lugosi as Dracula. Fucking
Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee, thank you, as Dracula. Those are my classic
Okay.
vampires, and that's how it should stay. That being said, the werewolf movie that we haven't talked about, that gets short shrift and it shouldn't. Wolf with Jack
Yes,
Nicholson.
I was going to mention that.
Awesome, beautiful,
Well,
cool
that
fucking
boring.
werewolf movie.
Yeah, is that really boring movie? Where he's
Yes, it
nothing?
is.
Yeah, and
I disagree with you guys.
You two guys are totally right. If you can't get beyond the fact that it has a real story and it's dealing with characters and plot,
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Boring as hell. But if you do like those things, awesome.
Honestly, to me, I don't like the movie when stuff happens. Like when him and James Spader had the big showdown, I was just like, this is kind of lame.
Well,
I love
honestly, you're
everything
right.
up to that point.
You're right, actually. I like Wolf because of the story and the characters. It's
Yeah.
cool watching the development of Jack Nicholson.
Watching
as
him
he's starting
become
to get
an
more and more-
aggressive carnivore.
But that's because they were trying to sell the werewolf story as a giant metaphor and nothing but that. And that's all it was. And there's so little of the other stuff.
Yes,
that when
unlike
it
every
does-
other
but then
horror
when
movie ever made.
when it does come in,
Finish, please. But when they do actually do it, it just seems silly because
Yeah.
everything
Alright.
else is good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, other horror films that do that have it steadily back and forth. Okay, we get that it's a metaphor, but there's also the gore and the special effects and stuff. And there, it's like, wow, it's just happening so rarely. Now, the best thing about Wolf, though, is
I'll
the
grant you that.
last scene in it with Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay, where it was like, okay, I thought she was hot as Catwoman, but damn.
Even sexy ass wolf.
You know,
When she's all hairy? What?
No,
that's the thing,
no.
and it's
I
and more talking about people reveling in their curse or affliction or whatever. Is that what made The Lost Boys such a classic? Is because they were like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
ride motorcycles and drink
I
blood.
thought it was
and they were monsters. I mean, those guys are.
I thought
we
it was the
suck
guy
fucking
with
blood
the
and kill people.
saxophone that made
Yeah,
Lost Boys so awesome.
Well, that too.
Or
Clinton was
it
in
was
The
it was
Lost
Alex Winter in that really badass like raggedy ass fucking.
it wasn't Jason
jacket he
Patrick
had.
who they were trying to make the next Jim Morrison.
By the way, interesting aside here, and Kayla will appreciate this. Alex Winter is making a remake of The Gate right now.
No
He's
shit.
directing a remake of The Gate.
All right.
Really?
I love Alex
Af-
Winter. I
after
also
the-
love Alex Winter's Freaked. I don't know if you guys.
No.
Awesome.
Freak is awesome.
Yes.
But have you seen his Ben 10 movie?
No.
He did a live action Ben 10. You know
Really?
the cartoon Ben
No
10?
shit.
He directed it.
Alex Winter's awesome,
and,
dude.
and he got Steve Austin, $6 Million Man, Lee Majors
Lee
to play the
Majors.
grandpa.
Yeah.
And I finally had to see it. It is fucking awful.
Oh.
It is so bad.
Well, I'll pretend you didn't say that. But anyway, any Alex Winter fans, go on YouTube and try to find Alex Winter's skit show that he used to do on MTV called
Fuck
The Idiot
yeah.
Box.
Yeah, The
which
Idiot
fucking
Box.
rules.
Wow, I never
And
heard
then
of
it
it.
hit
that
me,
shit,
and
yes.
it kept on hitting
Yes.
me.
I had a friend who
Rain
for
Man,
years
Electric 2,
tried to get me to
Electric
watch
Boogaloo.
Freaked, and like finally we
I
sat
am
down
the
and watched
Kaiser,
it.
the king of the world.
I was amazed by how funny Freaked was, and it had that kind of same timing that Warner Brothers cartoons and The Simpsons had.
Absolute
That like almost nobody else can capture.
Absolute win having Mr. T as the beard of the
I
day.
was about to say, how can you lose?
I was gonna jump in with what Bo was saying about the Buffy vampires. When I was at the age now where the little Twilight kids are, yeah, I loved Interview with the Vampire too. I was like, oh yes. Then I watched Buffy season 2, where not Angel, mind you, but Angelus, like nailing puppies to the wall, Angelus, and Spike, who's like, fuck all this, evil Spike. Let's go fuck some shit up. After that, I was like, this is what I want my vampires to be. None of this broody boo-hoo, I'm immortal, wah wah. I want vampires fucking shit up.
The most beautiful image of a vampire ever is Angelus, snapping Ginny Calendar's neck
It's
with a
gorgeous.
smile on his
It's
face.
so-
oh my
and they
God,
always-
that's a fucking vampire.
They're always
baby.
wearing frilly cravats and everything.
Yeah,
I
fuck
just want to
them.
see, I just want to see the one vampire in whatever vampire movie you're watching where they're all sitting around and they're like, oh, we should talk about blood and the dark, bleak existence that we live in, and then have the one vampire go, well, I was just gonna shoot some Jägermeister and play Grand Theft Auto.
You really got
Starts with a C, ends with a Y, name a Cassidy.
Yeah, you got to
Wait,
read
I
Preacher,
have something to
Jason.
say that you guys are going to kill me over. But the one vampire that did that, and I know this is a terrible movie.
Dennis Rodman from the Bulls.
No.
Are you gonna bring up Eddie Murphy in that vampire movie, Vampire in Brooklyn?
No, it
What,
was
just because he's black, he's got to bring up a black vampire movie?
Yeah, what's up with that? What's up with that?
I like that movie. I have it on DVD.
Co-host, put your sheet away,
William Marshall,
co-host.
the first Blackula, that movie's awesome.
No. Actually, it was when, and I know you guys would kill me, but Steven Dorff in the first Blade.
No, I was gonna mention
the
Blade.
way he acted. I thought it was the way vampires should act.
You have mentioned he who should never be named on Leon.
Now, the first two Blades are awesome. They're
Love
badass
them.
movies.
Love
Yeah, I don't like the
third
second
one.
Yeah, the
sucks.
second one. The second one, he's pulling fucking wrestling moves
Oh,
out.
come
Yeah,
on, the
It-
second
it-
one
it's-
is
no,
awesome.
dude.
He gives
I'm
a vampire a
sorry.
suplex.
I'm gonna throw down the gauntlet right now. The second one is Jason is right. The second one is all wrestling moves and CGI.
Yeah.
The first one was real
Cyrus, you ready to
goddamn
have
kung
Mexican
fu.
standoff?
That
I'm ready.
that
Let's
was what
fucking
made
do this.
Blade
It's the way of
Blade.
the gun, motherfucker. Let's go.
Okay, no, all
We
right.
all know that vampires
Once you
only
start,
do kung fu,
once you
not
start
wrestling.
bringing in wrestling movies, the realism collapses. You imbecile.
When you're looking for Whistler, you have to throw in wrestling moves, all right? All
Dude,
right.
some of the
It
best
is like-
vampire movies have luchadores in them. What do you?
Vampires don't have chin mandibles. Come on. What's
now,
wrong with
bitch?
you?
All right. Oh, can I answer real quick? Can I haven't been able
No,
to
no,
answer.
Go back to Let's Do It. I'm
Rob-
sorry,
I know Robots
Ghost.
have no
I am
answers.
not completely through deconstructing suspension of fucking disbelief.
Wow.
Fright Night.
I thought you were talking about Buffy
Oh,
again.
Fright Night.
Chris Sarandon in
Yes.
Fright Night loves being a
Yes.
vampire.
Yes. That's
It's like, oh, Peter Vincent.
you have to have faith for that, Charlie.
Co-host, what do you
guys.
got?
All right. Well, I was going to say the ultimate badass of all vampires, Count Orlok, Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Hello.
Nice.
Anybody seen that
Nice.
little film?
Oh, the original,
Yes.
Nosferatu.
Yes.
Actually, any version, because the silent
I
movie
gotta agree,
rocks,
yes.
but the
The one with Klaus Kinski.
yeah, the Klaus Kinski.
That
I'm
movie
trying
is
to remember
so
the fucking
fucking
director's
And the one
name.
with William Dafoe.
Yeah, that,
Yeah,
you know what? That movie
Shadow
is
of the
like really
Vampire?
good.
Shadow
but
of the Vampire.
It's also
Shadow of
kind of
the Vampire
boring
is
too,
I did
and
see
yet there's so
that.
many cool things going on in it.
Hey, speaking of Nosferatu, I think Allison.
I have a picture that I did of myself as Nosferatu.
And it's
Oh.
brilliant.
Which you
Amazing.
can
On the
find
website.
on the
because
website.
I really love that movie because it was all about how the Jews were gonna take over Europe with their big black coats and their big
That's
Chewy
right,
noses.
and that absolutely would have happened if it hadn't been. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Allison, where can I find this picture of Nosferatu with breast?
I'll put it up. It's all stuff that I made from like the grocery store or the craft store or something like that, where I made all the prosthetics.
Really?
and pointy
Nice,
noses.
amazing.
If you go up to Allison with like a paper clip and a couple of rubber bands,
I will
she can
MacGyver
make you
you
look like a
out.
burn victim. It's amazing.
You know, for all of you that have
Usually
a
she will burn you.
For all of you Leog fans that have a crush on Allison, look at this Nosferatu picture, and that will quell that urge.
No.
H-A-W-T.
The Nosferatu picture is sexy compared to the Abe Lincoln.
Yes, true.
picture.
Hey,
That's
I
the
thought.
one that makes you go, well, not
hey,
so much.
I thought your
thought
Abe Lincoln
that
was pretty
was a
goddamn hot.
dude.
Allison as Abe Lincoln gives me total wood.
I would still
like
do
Lincoln
her.
logs.
Lincoln.
Oh,
Yes.
Hey, can I give my
Can
werewolf
you ask me-
answer real
ask me
quick?
No, we're talking about how hot Allison is. Stupid
Oh,
Trump.
well, that's great.
I was
You
going to
don't
make
really?
a Lincoln Douglas debate
'cause
joke, but fine, Toaster.
Yeah.
Go on and tell us what
I
your
didn't get to
favorite
chime
little
in on
horror
And my
movies
favorite
are.
werewolf of all time is from C-Lab 2021, Chopper Dave. The guy who flies around the helicopter and turns into a werewolf. Yes, that guy rules. All right?
Chopper Dave. Chopper Dave.
I ran into Allison at a theater once in her Lincoln costume, and I did her from behind. It was hot.
Score in 7 minutes ago.
Totally skull fucked her, dude.
I'm sorry.
I feel just like John Wilkes Booth after what I did to the back of your head.
But
Wow.
let me
But
say
other
my
than that,
vampires.
how did you feel about the play?
Have you seen like our local theater, the Alamo Drafthouse, which is the greatest movie
The
theater
greatest.
in the
Of
world.
the greatest period.
In the world, as confirmed by many national magazines. But they do these clips before the movies to say, don't talk in the theater, don't use your cell phone. And one of them, I'm not even sure what it's from.
One
is
of them
where
has Chris
Abe
trying-
Lincoln. With Abe Lincoln sitting up in the balcony going, hey, why don't you move the play along? And John Wilkes Booth, the audience, sir, will you please be quiet?
That's from the Whitest Kids You Know.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
that is some funny shit.
Yeah. They had a whole episode. The Whitest Kids You Know had a whole episode based around Lincoln in the play.
Well, apparently that's what really happened. So, okay.
So,
I've had that too. With Joe Piscopo playing Lincoln and spilling popcorn on people and shit, and people like, sir. He goes, come on, and he's like talking about like I guess the woman that was in the show. Oh, look at the boobs on her. It was really funny. And then he's like, what? You want a piece of me? I'm the president. Come on up here. Come on up.
Of
here.
all the people to play
really funny.
Abe Lincoln, the shortest actor working, except for Danny DeVito, maybe.
Who? Joe Piscopo?
No. You say Joe Piscopo or Joe Pesci?
Joe
No, he said Joe Piscopo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
I
thought
was
you
saying
said
Joe Piscopo's
Pesci.
not short.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I went to Ford's Theater, and then the place across the street where they dragged Lincoln, and he bled under the pillow, and they had like a vacuum-sealed pillow with Lincoln's blood on it, and I was like,
Ew.
this is fucked. I was like, what? What? You preserved the crime scene?
Dude,
I love horror
they can take
movies,
that
and that's
DNA and
disgusting.
clone him.
Yeah, they're waiting for the CSI guys to show up for like 100 years.
Yeah, for
So.
David Caruso to come in and dramatically remove his shades and say, well, it looks like President Lincoln lost his head.
Same Lincoln who hung out with Bill and Ted. Awesome.
Party on, dudes!
Okay, I have a vampire answer also. It's not going to be a popular answer, but
Vampire
I'm going to go
Lincoln?
for it anyway.
Zombie
I'm
Lincoln.
going to say that, okay, Bram Stoker's Dracula was ridiculous because of Keanu Reeves, who was basically Bill S.
Hey, he
Preston.
wasn't that bad.
But
No, dude.
The acting
He was
Yeah,
that
no,
The
bad.
acting
he
was horrible.
However,
but that movie is free on
Gary
Hulu right
Oldman.
now. I watched the first half like last night. Man, just for
Yes.
the special effects alone.
If you take out
Yeah.
the parts with Keanu Reeves and just watch the rest of the movie, especially the part where Mina and Dracula are kind of getting it on upstairs and he
No.
cuts his
where
chest.
Dracula's getting on with the red-haired chick. That's
Yeah.
what.
That's
okay.
pretty
there are
fucking
only
hot.
there are only
As a
two
werewolf?
there are only two mistakes that movie made, and that was Coppola cast like a bunch of 90s era hipster dumbasses to appear in it. And B, he tacked on this completely unnecessary love story to it. But if you ignore those two things, that fucking movie is badass.
Honestly, I tried to go like, all right, after like the excruciating experience of watching it in the theater, I thought, okay, if I remove Keanu Reeves, because he does die at some point and he's gone.
God.
Yeah, thank God. I was like, whew. But then like the part that I thought I did like, The Simpsons did a parody of it that totally like
It
ruined
killed
that
it.
part for me too.
Oh.
Yeah, because they were like, once they brought up the fact that Dracula had the fruitiest haircut in the world.
Is that
that's all
Mr.
I can-
Burns?
yeah, Mr. Burns. That's all I can see whenever I watch it. It's like, yeah, that's not
I
sexy
disagree,
at all.
man. The
Well-
way that the great thing about the effects on that is they're all done very organically. Nothing's done with a computer. It's all done with film tricks, and
Yeah.
It was
the
it was
shadow
It's very
work.
old school.
well, it was all done
classical.
with intentionally done with film tricks that were available back in the 30s.
Yeah.
back in the 30s,
And that's what they tried to
it
stick to.
Well, it's
fucking
just
works.
it's my two favorite things about that is great, but okay, first off, Gary Oldman is so amazing in this
And
role.
hot.
He is okay, whatever, but
Really?
he is amazing in this role. And second, the soundtrack, the score by an unpronounceable Polish guy, Wojciech
I was
Kilar.
wondering,
Check
you
way too
pull
many
up the
consonants.
weirdest shit
Is
on
it
Wikipedia during
Kilar?
One
this.
of the definitive horror movie
the thing
scores.
about
It's
a Polish
Woj-
name.
it's Wojciech Kilar.
well,
I was gonna say,
thanks.
the thing
Wow.
about a Polish name is like it can have 13 letters and only one syllable.
It sounds
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Bill
Yeah.
Jones.
But you know
it's
what?
phonetically it's Wojciech
Yeah,
Kilar.
well, I would
It's
love
actually
for them to try to
Fred.
pronounce my name, which has no less than 3 vowels and a 4-letter name. So I'm sure they'd have a blast.
I feel like before we interrupted Allison, she had a point she was trying
Yeah,
to get to.
the point though was that in past vampire movies, the woman was all this terrible fainting victim of this vampire sexuality. Like, oh no, the vampire is going to make out with me in the dark. And in this particular scene in Bram Stoker's Dracula, Mina's like, yeah, let's get it on. She totally like drinks the blood from the cute Gary Oldman.
Oh,
and
she's
then-
going like, give me your blood.
Yeah, and so I appreciate that moment in the Dracula movie where, like, yes, I would sign up for that. Thank you very much.
Everyone knows that women will, in fact, suck the life right out of you.
To be fair, she is like dating the blandest surfer boy ever, and this is before there were surfboards, so he wasn't cool.
Which is how it works.
And
so.
the more important thing is like that Mina from that Dracula is pretty much what inspired the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen. Am I getting it right?
No, the League of
Extraordinary Gentlemen.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
The idea of her as a strong woman character, which no one had really portrayed her as before that particular version.
Well, she is, and they even allude to that in the film where she's like, typing on a typewriter, and Lucy actually goes to her at one point. She's like, "I can't believe you're learning how to use that absurd machine. Why don't you just marry someone rich like I do?"
No, that was the Sibian.
And let's look at some naughty pictures together.
Yes, let's take naughty pictures
Now,
together.
that was the Dark Brothers Dracula you're thinking
Exactly.
of, Jason. That was a different version.
Let's start a website.
It has a lot of
a gothic website.
It's such a
This
flaw.
will invigorate your vagina.
Oh my!
Children of the night.
What beautiful music they make.
The children
What
of the
beautiful
night,
music
they
she makes.
said vagina, and the music pretty much went dead.
I don't even think even Dracula
No,
could say
that
vagina
movie-
and pull it off.
That movie is extremely flawed, but by God, I watch it almost every Halloween just because it has some really spooky stuff in it.
It has the right mood.
Yeah,
Just like
totally
Once
right
Bitten.
mood.
Yeah.
Just like watch it up until the point.
So good.
Watch it up until the point that they kill Lucy, and then turn it off, and you're done. You're cool.
Dracula is Christopher Lee, period. That's what I'm going to say right now.
He is probably my favorite Dracula.
When he's not Frank Langella.
Now, did you see Dracula, Christopher Lee was, of course, the classic Hammer horror films, which, for a long time, for like 25 years, were making some of the greatest horror films in the world. And they haven't made anything since 1984.
They just got back together and they're starting
just got back
to-
together and they're starting to do new films
Uh-oh.
with Christopher Lee playing one of the characters.
I live only to see the newest Christopher Lee film where he gets to say once again, "I'm sorry, my old friend."
Saruman.
Wow, stop. Hammer time.
All right, we're moving to the next question.
Next question.
Innocent Blood.
Oh,
Innocent
Night
Blood.
Watch, Day Watch.
We're going
Just
to
point out our
answer
answers.
exactly 5 questions at least.
Alabama Mike
just say
says, and this is a question really probably, I don't even know who knows the answer to this, but I assume someone here does.
This is
I
a
don't.
break for
Says, moving into Halloween, I have a tradition. I watch what I call the Halloween trilogy. I watch the original Halloween, Halloween 2, and Halloween H2O. I absolutely hate the 3rd to 6th movies, and I truly despise Resurrection and the remakes. I like the original sequel in H2O because they deal with the story of Michael chasing his sister. What, do you got an incest issue going on here, buddy? No, when the series moved away from that, it suffered. I especially like the ending of H2O, with Laurie cutting Michael's head off, killing him, and ending the series. However, I've noticed a lot of hate for H2O. So why do so many people hate it?
Okay.
And take it away, co-host Jason and Kayla, the only people that can answer.
Kayla's only seen Halloween 3, which...
I could say only that I saw Halloween 3, if I believe that's the one, Season of the Witch, that has nothing to do with
Yes.
Jason. And that one was on heavy rotation on HBO,
Yes.
and I love that
I
one.
fucking love that movie too.
Yes.
Thank you.
amazing.
No, it's
I like
a lot
that
of
movie,
fun.
too. Yeah, it's like, get over it. It doesn't have Michael Myers.
Right.
Oh, no!
It's an old guy wanting to kill a bunch of fucking kids. What's wrong with
And
that?
it's like some Celtic magic with Stonehenge. It's cool. It's creepy. It's weird.
It was like so
Yeah.
roundly hated when it came out, and now almost every time you see a best of list, it's on it.
And here's
No,
the important
I
thing.
thought it was good.
It has Tom Atkins. That's
Yes,
the important
Tom
thing.
Atkins is cool, but the coolest thing about it is the villain in the film. Okay, this guy, his name is Dan O'Hurley. He
O'Hurley.
plays Colonel Cochran, who is the old guy that wants to just kill kids, for the sake of killing them because they fucked up Halloween with their trick-or-treating and all that bullshit. And I tell you what, man, that guy is the classic. I mean, I wish he was in more films as a villain because in Halloween 3, he's the ultimate villain.
That's funny because that guy's like Nevercracker and Monster House.
Okay, now guess what
Are
else
you
he's
guys
in?
still talking about Halloween 3?
Yes.
The question was Halloween H2O.
Fuck that question.
Yeah, fuck that.
Anyway, but guess what else he was in?
What else?
Batman the animated series.
It's who?
Okay, he was in what was it? It was called it was the Mr. Freeze
got
episode.
cheat notes there?
Deep Freeze. He played Grant Walker. He was the guy who created Oceana.
That's an awesome
Who
name.
tried to convince Victor Freeze to basically show him how he turned himself into Mr. Freeze.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And oh man, that's a classic episode. I fucking love
All
that
right.
episode, and he's awesome.
So
Jason.
H2O. What do you think about H2O?
I thought it was. You know what?
No,
it was uninspired. I thought it was boring.
It was.
It didn't do anything for me.
They took the Halloween mythos and transplanted it into every bad, watered down teen 90s horror film.
At the time, and it was written by the guy who wrote Scream.
Yes, Kevin Williamson.
Yes.
Exactly.
And exactly, he basically just turned it into a lamer version of what he was writing, which was Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Halloween 4 and 5 are way better than H2O.
If I might offer, some other opinion, I didn't see Halloween 4 or 5, so you guys could be completely right. I just remember when H2O came out, I thought it was better than the other horror movies, the other slasher movies that had come out around that time.
It was, but that doesn't make it good.
Yeah,
true.
That's true. Yeah, I mean it was decent,
Right.
but at the same time it didn't offer anything new to the series.
It didn't.
And it didn't do a single thing as far as making Michael Myers an interesting character.
It had LL Cool J.
Yeah, and he was honestly
I forgot. That's because
LL
he was
Cool
totally
J
forgettable.
was the reason to watch that movie. He was the one
how sad
really
is
good
that?
thing about it.
Really? Okay, now I have to disagree with you, Jason, because I forgot he was even in that.
No,
movie.
I actually him in that and Deep Blue Sea. I've really enjoyed watching him.
Yeah. Now, if you want to see a real Halloween movie with a really great actor, watch Busta Rhymes in the last Halloween movie. What was it?
God, I'm gonna
Halloween.
I'm gonna have you recycled.
Yeah.
Halloween Resurrection.
I'm gonna sell you for parts.
Have you?
Other than movies.
Now,
That
if
is
you go
worse
to,
than Halloween 6.
If you go to YouTube, there's a scene where Busta Rhymes is dressed up in a Michael Myers outfit and he encounters the real Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And he starts fucking bitching at him and yelling at him because he's not fucking doing his job or whatever. And it's the greatest scene of all time.
No, it's so horrible.
Wait, Michael Myers is working where?
He was okay, and I guess it's Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah.
They're doing like
It's the worst fucking movie.
It's like an MTV Real World episode, but they're doing it in the Myers home. And Busta Rhymes is dressed up in a Michael Myers outfit because he's supposed to scare the kid, and he's doing it because the other guy who was supposed to be there was late or for some reason. He sees the guy who he thinks is supposed to be in the Michael Myers. He's like, motherfucker, you been? I'm dressed up in this costume. Motherfucker, you fucking late. And he goes on this whole tirade with this guy, with the real Michael Myers for about an hour. And it's just a totally ridiculous classic scene.
In a quick synopsis, it's Busta Rhymes using his fucking taekwondo against Michael Myers. God damn it.
Yeah, I can see why that might be.
You know what? As bad as that sounds, it still sounds better to me than Rob Zombie's remake.
No, you know what?
Anything
Okay.
Rob Zombie.
No.
Oh, wait, Kayla, you don't like the Rob Zombie movies?
Can't stand them. And I asked
We
if they
found a movie.
All right. You know what? I know eventually.
I knew there was a reason why I liked you.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. And I knew eventually me and Kayla would be on the same page on something.
Yeah.
And that Rob Zombie ruined DVD covers for every horror movie. Seriously.
I don't think he worked on those covers, but the movies themselves are terrible.
Steckler movies now look like Rob Zombie covers. It's stupid.
All right, I've got to stand up for who might very well be my illegitimate father, Rob Zombie. All of those. I love all of his movies. I really do. I do.
Even the House of a
Really?
Thousand
Dude, I watched
To me,
House of Thousand
To me,
Corpses.
he's got one good movie.
Yes, thank you, Leon. Yes, it's
Devil's
Rejects.
Devil's
Yeah,
Rejects.
I
Devil's
watched
Rejects.
House of a Thousand Corpses last night and fucking loved it.
I went back thinking maybe I was too hard on it. Maybe I was expecting too much. And because the Devil's Rejects I loved, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it another try. House of Thousand Corpses, and I hated it 10 times.
Look,
as
Jason,
much as the second
I tried my hardest to love that movie because I was a huge fan of White Zombie and Rob Zombie, and I'm sorry that movie just fails on every level.
I love it.
I'm
and
sorry.
you know what? I haven't seen Halloween 2, the remake to Halloween 2, but
I don't think anybody has.
I have seen his original remake, and I think it is a solid horror film. It's not a Halloween movie.
Are you serious?
Seriously?
It's not a
Dude,
Halloween
no,
movie.
Halloween. His version is I call it Halloween for dummies. That's what I call it.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
the thing.
I call it Halloween.
I think if you can separate it from the Halloween series, I think it really.
Wait, how can you separate it from the Halloween series?
Yeah, in as much as it's titled.
Yeah, well, I know. If you treat it like its own thing, in that here is the genesis.
Okay, I
of
will.
this
I
white
will.
trash psycho.
If you see it from across the street through a kaleidoscope.
No, I'll call it Disaster Movie 2. All right, that's what I'll do.
This smells up his defense of the prequels, you know.
It's just
It does
boring.
cut
Get
out
away
the
from the
right.
microphone!
How did you even get on here? I'm
I
sorry.
didn't even think about that, but you're
Get the fuck away from the
Jason,
God!
Jason, how they butchered the Dr. Loomis character.
I thought he was great.
Was one.
Malcolm McDowell.
Look, to me, basically, it's like Michael.
Yes.
Michael Myers is this killer, this force of nature that you can't stop. Was scary.
Yes.
But like suddenly going into why he was doing it, when
Every
they show why, I'm like,
little
really?
detail.
That's it?
You know, they gave a fucking Darth Vader origin to that
Yes,
fucking
it's totally
character.
a Darth Vader origin.
See,
Thank you.
If you can divorce yourself from that, I think that
No. Okay, if you could just like only watch the last 10 minutes of this movie, it is fucking awesome.
No, I think it tells a compelling origin story of this white trash kid from this horrible family turning into this maniac.
Okay,
All right, you're telling me because
come on, he's a white trash kid from a bad
Wait,
family.
are we talking about the
but
prequels
not
or
the
Halloween?
worst family? It's not
He was
the
sold
worst
into
family.
slavery.
It's pretty fucking bad.
Look,
It's bad, but it's people who come from worse families who don't do what he did, and it doesn't explain how he became a 9-foot giant who was lethargic yet had the muscles of Superman.
Okay,
Jason, look.
you got me there.
Jason, look, Jason. What I got from that origin is a fucking spoiled-ass kid whose sister did not take him out trick-or-treating, and that's why he decided to become a fucking killer. Because he couldn't go and fucking fill up his fucking jack-o'-lantern with fucking candy? Are you kidding me? Jason, we're going to have to seriously talk after this fucking episode.
I think that was the final word on that. I don't know.
Yeah, next.
Even Jason's going, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, the Don, the Shogun of Spill, which I don't remember anyone electing him to that.
Dude,
but
I
okay.
love Don the Shogun of Spill.
Yeah,
he has been here. He's been with us for a
Apparently,
long time.
the Shogun
Who's
is
the
not,
master?
is not an elected position, is all.
He
I'm
is
saying.
show enough the Shogun.
Okay, fair enough. But he says, "Dear gentlemen and ladies,
Ladies Mercedes.
what are your favorite kills in a
Booyah.
horror film, and what kill is the most disturbing kill you've seen in
All
a
right,
horror?"
I want to
film?
go first. Day of the Dead, when the guy gets ripped apart and his intestines are spilling
The
out.
head military guy.
Yeah, and he's like, choke on them.
Or the scene where they're ripping the guy from his eye sockets and ripping off his jaw, and he's like, "Ah," and he makes this weird fucking sound, almost like a chicken, like.
He said,
That's fucked up. Oh, and the scene in The Thing where the guy,
Oh, dude.
where he
I'm not
where
going with Styles.
Yes, with the paddles.
What?
And he's
I'm not
going
going with
on the
Styles.
chest, and then the fucking chest opens
Yes.
up, and the jaws of the guy's rib cage just cuts off his fucking, just eats it. Like,
And you got all those guys on the chair trying to break out.
Yes,
I cut McCready loose.
My
I cut him
answer
loose.
to that question is The Thing. Yes, I
Yes.
love that fucking.
Now, if it's all the same, the rest of you gentlemen, I just soon not spend the rest of the winter tied to this fucking chair.
The most disturbing movie I've ever seen a death in was Irreversible, with the blow after blow consistent shot of a
yes.
guy's face getting just turned to mush with a fire hydrant.
Great fucking
A
answer.
fire
Yes.
extinguisher. That just scarred me for life.
That looks so fucking real. That's scarred my fucking robot.
And one of my favorite kill scenes. Wait, maybe this isn't. It's not a horror movie. But when the guy gets shot in Pulp Fiction in the back of the car.
Oh yeah, Phil Lamar.
I mean, when
the guy from Mad TV.
when a guy can get shot and you just laugh so much about it, it's just such a brilliant scene.
It's a nervous laughter.
Oh, I shot Marvin in the face.
I say the most disturbing kill to me, it's like the first thing I thought of was gory, and I'd be wrong to say it's the most disturbing kill. I mean, the goriest kill that bothered me was Gates of Hell, where the girl vomited up every organ in her body. That's gory, and it's disturbing, and it's upsetting. But the most disturbing kill I've ever seen is the first kill in Jaws, with the girl, where she's being dragged across the surface by the shark, and you know what's happening, and you know this bitch is dead, and she knows she's dead. She's going to be fucking eaten by a giant shark, and you're watching her crying and screaming as she's dragged around. Man, that movie had me crying the first time I saw it because I was so upset by that.
Wow.
And that's fucked up. And still, it's listed regularly as one of the most upsetting horror scenes ever.
You know,
It's
what
funny.
trumped that for me though was the scene in what was it? The Samuel Jackson scene where the
Blue
shark,
Sea.
Deep Blue Sea, where the shark jumps out and chomps on. Yeah, that made me cry.
I just
Well-
watched that again today. It's so good. It's such a good scene.
It's funny, Cyrus, because I didn't have an answer till you said that, and I thought, oh yeah, that scene that most disturbed me, Peter Weller in RoboCop. When he walks in, like, dead or alive, you're coming with me. Like, yeah, he's the hero. He's gonna take care of this. And then when they blow his hand off, and he's going. I almost threw up in my popcorn. And then the way they just blow him away with such glee, I felt sick to my stomach.
That is very upsetting.
Now you say that, I think just about any kill in any Paul Verhoeven film is just fucked up. Especially in Starship Troopers when that creature lops off that guy's head and the other soldiers are like laughing.
Oh yeah, when Jake Busey laughs, that's my favorite moment in the entire movie.
Get ready for a big surprise. Sorry, just another Paul Verhoeven film.
Yeah. Kayla, Allison?
Kayla, I know you're dying to give something there.
Well, do you have...
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Oh, there's about 10,000 of them.
Hear 'em all. Tuck in, folks. We're going to be here for a while.
No, but I'll just give... Slugs has so many within it. Like when the people are, like, copulating, and then they fall off the bed into a bed of slugs. And I can't even handle it.
As much as I'm not a fan of that movie... That was a really fucked up creepy scene.
And then this other one in the same movie, and this guy eats the slug, and then it comes out of his head.
Yeah, I mean, you could see them almost like swimming all around his face.
It's tough, but I love that. It's a great movie. Slugs is amazing.
I wish everyone could see Kayla's face because she's really loving it.
It's so disgusting. Kayla, take your hand out of your crotch.
On that note, next question.
What? I'm just taking it to the next logical place. Come on. Really? Are we going to be like just quiet after that? Is that what it is?
I love how everybody got quiet to look at you.
But okay, Deadly Friend, the basketball.
Yes.
That's such a good
I always use that as a clip.
Did somebody get decapitated with a basketball in that movie?
That's always been my list. I actually listed that as the silliest death in a horror film.
I love using that for a Friday night clip fix. I might actually put it on this week, so everyone knows what I'm talking about.
The head clapping scene where that guy's head explodes from
Story of Ricky.
Dude, every death is Story of Ricky.
No, when the final death, when he's pushing the guy down into the hamburger grinding machine, and the guy's grabbing at him, trying to stop him, and his just guts are flying everywhere in his face as he's pushing him down.
I'm gone by that
That's
point.
fucked up.
To me, it was like when the guy cuts his own stomach open and uses his intestines to try to strangle Ricky.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Dude, that is the best gross-out horror film for parties
bar
ever
none.
made.
I love how everyone who always gets killed by Ricky always ends up being sympathetic to his cause. He's like, I'm sorry, Ricky. We could have been good friends. He tries to kill him with his intestines.
Ricky is so badass that when he's like somebody slashes his wrists open and he's bleeding everywhere, he just pulls his veins out of his arms and ties them together.
Let's see Rambo try to pull that shit off. All right.
That 1 year ago today in the sadly lost Halloween episode, you had that actually playing on your screen here, and that was the first time I ever saw it. I was like, wait, you guys are just talking like you can handle this, but what the fuck is going on the screen?
That's right, I had to load it to you.
Yeah, that's when I got.
Is that when we popped your cherry with that movie?
I don't want to talk about one.
I'd say the scene when the mother gets killed in High Tension is kind of
I still
rough.
haven't seen that. Everyone keeps bitching about the ending so much that I've just never watched it.
Whatever. It's French. So
I like French horror, generally speaking.
It's really, really disturbing on a number of levels, but hold on. Spoiler.
No, don't spoil it, please.
I'm
not
not gonna spoil. Okay, I'm not spoiling it. But when the mom is bleeding to death on the floor, and you find out
at the end,
in the middle, when you find out who has basically butchered this woman, and then it's like this whole scene in the bedroom. It's really, really disturbing.
Hey, who gets killed by the dresser? The dresser? You know what I'm talking about?
The dresser.
Yeah. There's a scene where I think somebody's head gets like stuck somewhere, and then the killer like rams a dresser into it.
There's lots of really disturbing.
Well, it's a French horror movie made in the last decade. Every scene in it is, by definition, the most disturbing shit you've seen.
It is.
I mean, you take
really.
Martyrs, that, Inside. They're just one, like, who the fuck thought this up? stop scene after another, you know.
The only movie that was, I'll just say high tension, pretty disturbing.
Just all around.
Martyrs is
All around.
another really fucked up one. I mean, when I left that theater, I honestly felt like I witnessed something that I should have never witnessed, like Irreversible.
Yeah.
And I almost wanted to scrub that whole movie out of my head.
This Martyrs would have been a great movie if it wasn't for the last 25 minutes or so of it, when it turned into Hostel, basically. It was like, oh, come on, really? Is that what we're gonna do?
It was a more intelligent version of Hostel, but it was still
I agree with
fucked
that.
up. Yeah.
But Inside, on the other hand,
Yes, Inside, which I fucking love. Me and Corey got into a battle here.
one of the
last Halloween.
great, totally disturbing, fucked up horror
Lost
films.
Forever in the
But let's move on to another
Outroverse.
question. Snoopy, who we love, who's on the
Snoopy!
side all the time.
I didn't even know Snoopy.
Well,
You know Snoopy.
You're not paying enough attention then.
I guess not.
Snoopy says, do you guys think there will ever be a good Lovecraft horror film, not counting the few exceptions, or TV show? And, of course, long live the Leog. And, of course, for this one, Jason, our resident Lovecraft fanatic, is sitting outside smoking a cigarette.
Get your ass in here!
I guess I'm not paying him enough.
You!
Well,
I love how
we were
half the
just
league just takes a
saying,
long cigarette break.
I have
we were just saying a few moments ago how there
Jason-centric
needed
question,
to be.
and I had like a whole Jason thing I wanted to go on
you
about,
couldn't.
but you weren't here.
because he
You were
wasn't
just
here.
saying what?
I'm
Because he
here.
slacked off.
I'm back.
We were-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Allison.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you.
Allison, go! Pretty
We were
girls first.
We were talking about how that would be Cyrus then. We were talking about how there needed to be a new Lovecraftian sort of film that comes out,
It's coming.
and I just mentioned that I lamented the fact that there's no Lovecraftian sort of Louisiana swamp. It came from the bayou sort of film.
Well, squids and octopi don't live in the bayou, do they?
Well, they're not squids and
This
octopi.
creepy
Leon.
shit
Come
there,
on, isn't
though.
Cthulhu a big?
But
No, he has tentacles, but
Yeah, you guys talk about Cthulhu, and all I can think is like, man, I want some calamari.
Well, there are actually, no, there definitely does need to be some sort of voodoo Louisiana swamp Lovecraftian thing, because I think it's such a perfect fit. It really is. But there are actually two big Lovecraft movies in the works. One that's been going on for a long time, and it's Guillermo del Toro's At the Mountains of Madness.
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
see though. That's still in the very much like the maybe it'll happen, maybe it
not.
won't. So.
Yeah, but apparently
Well, and
the
also,
script is fantastic.
I mean, the problem with a lot of Lovecraft stuff is you get 20 pages of exposition, and then you get one page of like, and then this horrible thing happened.
Well,
and everyone
that-
went crazy.
and
Yeah,
everyone
well, that's the
went
thing. Is like
crazy,
I would
and-
describe to you what it was, but you would go insane.
And exactly, and everybody went crazy, and nobody could tell you what the fuck was going on. Which is, as I was saying, like that's one of the reasons those Val Lewton movies are successful, is because you never really see
that's actually
what's going on.
That's actually how I describe Leog to friends and family members.
Exactly.
You're like, I could tell you, but it would probably drive you insane.
Which, to be fair, actually, the fandom of Lovecraft has actually gone so far with it. I mean, even his friends who wrote after he died, like Robert E. Howard and stuff, who kept writing his stuff. Lots of people since have written his stuff. His stuff has really developed inside the fandom to actually be kind of defining.
He's developed the myth. There are people that have gone on to do a relatively successful job of explaining, like, well, this is kind of what happened. Like, I would love to see some of the Oni Press Cthulhu stuff being made
I
into
have,
a movie.
yeah, I have several of the graphic novels if you haven't read them.
Which are
really good.
and they're brilliant. I mean, they're Nyarlathotep
Or not
stuff.
Oni, Press. Boom
Excuse me.
Studios, yeah.
Boom Studios. Just letting you know that, because
They've got the Cthulhu anthologies,
Yeah.
Cthulhu tales. I mean, all sorts of Cthulhu stuff.
And yeah, they
Fall
did
of the Gods, I think.
They did a great
Cthulhu.
they did a great series called Cthulhu Cthulhu Tales or Lovecraft Tales. One of
Cthulhu
the two.
Tales is the anthology.
Yeah. They did a number of things. They did, like, at least about a year ago, they were doing some stuff with the Nyarlathotep stuff, which is Nyarlathotep is kind of the Loki jester type of the Lovecraftian gods, and
my
they do
favorite
some
stuff
really
from
cool
him
stuff
is
with
his
this.
most surreal stuff. Like In the Mountains of Madness is indeed one of his more surreal works, as well as thank you. As well as what's the Unknown Kata?
Dreams of Unknown Kata.
The Dream Quest of Unknown Kata, which is my favorite by him, which is literally a guy astral projecting through like this dark realm. You know, it's not evil per se, but
It's just
evil
weird.
certainly borders it.
Yeah. Well, one of the other big ones that's in production right now, it's in pre-production, and Ron Howard has signed on to direct it. It's I forget who published it, but
And
it
you
was
know,
a miniseries.
if there are two great tastes that should go great together, it's H.P. Lovecraft and Ron Howard.
Yeah, it's Opie and the old ones. Yeah,
It's like anchovies and peanut butter.
It's like,
Mm.
oh my God! You drove your spike of peanut butter chocolate deep into my brain, where my horrible nightmares live.
Story of man's first, quest into the astral realms. It's Apollo 666.
But this one is it's like I think it's called The Strange Adventures of H.P. Lovecraft. It was like a 5 or 6 issue miniseries, and it very much is Lovecraft writing and then realizing, oh shit, some of these things are becoming real. And if you read it, you watch it and you're like, well, this is very much, this guy could be Adrian Brody. I mean,
can he?
I mean, it very much the way it's.
I think
So he's a giant nose, is what you're saying.
Adrian Brody is pretty much the protagonist of
I
ever
follow the flavor of Fruit Loops wherever it goes.
Adrian Brody.
I thought, it's that nose that got him through King Kong. all right?
Adrian Brody is pretty much every H.P. Lovecraft protagonist ever in one delicious package.
I would not kick him out of my bed for eating Fruit Loops. So I'll just say
He's
that.
a man who can satisfy two women at once.
You
Thank
probably
you.
Near my bed.
You probably wouldn't kick him out of your bed for sprouting tentacles and driving
No.
you hopelessly mad.
No.
I gotta say, I give the dude mad props. Like after he won that Oscar, and he just ran over to Halle Berry and French kissed her in front of everybody.
Fuck yeah.
including her husband.
That's a man, my
that was
friend.
an
That's a
awesome
man.
moment.
The Mac move of all time.
It was the Mac move of all time.
Yeah, the balls of steel.
Exactly.
That's just like Lord Cthulhu would have done it, bitches.
Well, here's a guy who's gone through his life going, I don't want to have any regrets.
Well, you wait till the new Robert Rodriguez Predator film. Then we'll...
Oh, is he going to be in that?
Yeah. There might be a few
hey, you guys
regrets
remember when I
after
Well,
kissed
you
Halle
know,
Berry?
given the way he steals from other stuff, Predator is a great title for that.
But
I don't
okay,
care.
I want to go to the Lovecraft thing, and I totally threw you off track, Jason. I apologize. So you're saying Ron Howard is working on a actual Lovecraft piece?
Yeah, he's and of course it may not happen, but he's going to direct the adaptation of this comic book that just I think wrapped up the miniseries. I want to say it's The Strange Adventures of H.P. Lovecraft, and it's talking about Lovecraft as a writer, but all of his weird shit, and as people tend to do with Lovecraft, they bleed the actual guy into his mythos and everything.
Didn't somebody already do a movie like this on HBO?
Well, that was Cast a Deadly Spell, and it was Dennis Hopper, or Fred Ward, depending.
Yeah, I was gonna say Fred Ward. That's what I thought.
Well, there were
was like
two.
a
There were two. Of them.
Lovecraft
Okay,
is
the
a private
Fred Ward
detective.
one was the one I saw.
Yeah, but that one is very far away from the Lovecraft
God, I
mythos.
forgot
so,
about that.
Yeah.
There was a movie on Sci-Fi which was terrible, and it was
Yeah, you
done.
That's
on
redundant.
Sci-Fi, really?
It was done in a very sci-fi manner, and
It's
therefore
like saying there's a drunken
disappointing.
Leog.
Yes. But it had such a good idea that I wish someone would do it well. And it was like this whole sort of Dagon. There's a Spanish village somewhere on some.
It's called Dagon,
called Dagon.
right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
That's,
I liked it.
It's Stuart
It's
Gordon, the
very
guy who did
bizarre.
Reanimator.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I liked it. Cyrus didn't.
I thought it was okay.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't really like it.
Oh, somebody did like
It's basically the
somebody did
Shadow.
a weird version of Shadow over Innsmouth.
That's
but
what it is.
Is it with the guy who's gay and he's going back to his family?
No, that's Cthulhu.
Yeah, okay, that's Cthulhu. But that it's basically a heartwarming coming out story, except that he's coming back to tell his family that he's gay and they happen to worship Cthulhu.
This is more incesty, but
yeah.
I just wish that they would do something more like that, where it's some sort of murky village somewhere that's pulling up some.
All I remember about that movie is the naked lady hanging over the pit, and I was like, what are we watching?
That's the best part ever.
One of the best Lovecraft adaptations is Dark Corners of the Earth, an Xbox game.
Ew.
Yeah, and it is creepy as all hell. It's basically you're investigating Innsmouth. And all these people have gills, and there's some tentacles and some weird
And
shit.
finally, you
going
found
on.
some. The ultimate win in the game is finding some drunk down by the docks that explains to you what's
Yeah.
going
No,
the fuck on.
The best Lovecraft movie, I think, is In the Mouth of Madness, John Carpenter, and it's not even a Lovecraft.
Not even
movie.
but it is.
But it
Come on.
is.
It just didn't have the rights. That's all. It
Yeah,
comes down
exactly.
to it. Did you remember Necronomicon? Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
That's by the same guy who did the werewolf film.
Werewolf.
You're a little late.
Oh, hey, it's just for Halloween.
No. The one, the French guy. The
Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Brotherhood of the Wolf. Yeah, it's by the same guy who did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Jean-Luc Garou?
No, it's
Nice.
Luke Garou.
Loup Garou.
what's it?
Louis Vuitton.
What are the odds?
Christopher Gans.
Christopher Gans.
no,
yeah.
the Loup
Also did
Garou.
Vidocq, I think.
Gerard Depardieu.
And hell, it's got Jeffrey Combs in it, so therefore it's automatically awesome.
And by the way, if any of you doubt the existence of werewolves, you've obviously never seen anything with Gerard Depardieu. Gallic Fun Boy and werewolf.
Well,
And Green
I
Card.
always think about Robin Williams when it comes to werewolves, but
Robin Williams is not a werewolf. He is a were-orangutan.
A fuzzy man.
Oh, but real quick, somebody brought up HBO. For some reason, this past week, I've been really trying
we
really
said
hard.
H.P. Lovecraft.
say.
Oh,
I brought up HBO.
oh, sorry, I was thinking about HBO.
I
did,
think you
Leon,
need
yeah.
to check
Okay.
out your voice recognition software because it's on the glitch.
No.
That's
I
on the
brought up
fritz right now.
HBO.
But okay, Powers Booth was in an HBO
Southern
film
Comfort.
where it dealt with supernatural and all kinds of weird shit. Where he
Oh
was
no,
a
that
detective.
was just a bunch of National
Ooh,
Guards
no,
getting
I don't know what that
sodomized.
is.
You don't know
No,
what? Okay,
no.
somebody out there, if anybody knows, paying attention, Powers Booth was in an HBO movie that dealt with it. Almost kind of reminded me of Hellblazer, the Constantine, in a way.
Huh.
Yeah, he was fighting supernatural forces, demons.
Frailty?
It was the craziest thing, yeah. But it was awesome, and I've been trying to remember the name of this fucking movie.
I think you were just watching Southern Comfort on acid.
No. Somebody look on IMDb.
Yeah, that's
Powers
Powers
Booth.
Booth in
Yes.
was Deadwood.
Oh God, you're showing me that there's like a 50
Powers
movies
Booth,
right there. I can't-
native of
can't
Central
see it.
Texas, actually.
Is
That's
it
right.
really?
He went to Southwest Texas, or whatever the hell it's called now.
Oh yeah, right.
Texas State University.
Texas State University.
Anyway,
yeah.
I'll find it later.
Rushy
He's in a
Bill.
lot of movies.
Yeah, he was.
Rushy Bill Brosis.
I always think of it as Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
A-
That's
a-
right.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! I watched
Or
that.
actually, you
Talk
know,
about the HBO movie that like disturbed
Or the
us
bad
as
guy
kids.
from Lone Wolf McQuade.
Speaking
It
of
predated HBO.
Speaking of HBO and Powers Booth, they did a Philip Marlowe Private Eye miniseries that
Oh,
he
that's right.
Oh no kidding.
played Philip Marlowe in, and very, very good, very worth checking
See,
out.
that's why you got to find out, because this movie, I wish it was on DVD or even VHS for that matter, because he was a detective fighting like supernatural things in this this total like film noir type setting. It was
Dude, that's
awesome.
just a graphic novel.
That was
telling you
Kolchak
about.
the Night Stalker.
Yeah, I keep thinking like HBO Detective.
I loved that
Yes,
show.
I
Kolchak.
keep thinking of.
Did you ever see the remake?
Armand
Oh.
Asante as Mike Hammer in I
Yeah.
the Jury,
That's-
which is in
that's-
heavy rotation
yeah.
on HBO, and I must
He was
have watched it
pretty
every
much
time
playing
it
the
came
same
on.
character. Yeah.
All right, we've mined this topic. We've mined it.
I loved Kolchak.
Kolchak.
the
Okay,
Night
now did you
Stalker.
see the remake they did of it?
No.
I think it was
No,
for
I didn't.
Sci-Fi. For,
I
Do
didn't-
I
it was
need
the guy
to?
who was in Queen of the Damned, the guy who played Lestat.
Oh,
Stuart
yeah,
Townsend?
Stuart Townsend played Kolchak. It was a remake. It was actually
Nah,
pretty good.
the original
Yeah, he got-
is
yeah,
the
Stuart
dad
Townsend?
from Christmas Story. What's his
Yeah.
name?
Oh, Darren McGavin.
Darren McGavin was the original.
Fred Geely. It
It
must
was
be
the
Italian.
original. It was the original X Files.
Yeah, well, he
That's
actually
right.
was the big influence behind the X Files for Chris Carter, and in fact, in I think the 5th season, I'm not entirely sure, came on as more or less himself. They couldn't get the rights to the character name, but every X Files fan knew that's who he was supposed to
Nice.
be.
Oh, he was Kolchak.
Yeah, and like a retired Kolchak. Like
Okay.
he had tired. Ah, fuck you, kid. You crazy.
who
kid.
wasn't an
There's
attack-
no hope. No one's gonna believe you.
There's
anymore.
no hope, and you're not getting your little Red Ryder BB gun, and you're not getting your sister back.
And
so
he,
fuck you.
He actually died in real life.
Right.
And so they had to bring in I can't
Oh,
remember another big actor to come in and be like, I'm his brother. And
Oh,
he's
you know
on
what?
somewhere
You know who they
else.
should have pulled in was the guy who played Jack McGee on The Incredible Hulk.
Oh God, yeah.
That would have been the way to go.
Jack Klugman.
Is that who that was?
No.
No. I was like, why'd you bring up Quincy?
The only thing that Jack McGee was famous for was for having Bill Bixby say, "Mr. McGee, don't make me angry."
No, I was
You would
doing
like me when
Space
I'm angry.
Ghost. I was doing.
No,
Since we're talking about Quincy,
You would bring Jack Klugman.
No more talking.
Hey,
More questions.
Since we were talking, real quick, since we were talking about
Okay.
Mackenzie, what was up with the opening intro to Quincy where they were looking at a body and everyone passed out?
Half
What
the
was
cops
up
are
with
faint because
Yeah,
he like showed them a dead body that was like splayed open,
Uh-huh.
and half the cops faded out on the first part, and the other half fainted on the second half.
They weren't cops. They were medical interns that had never seen a dead body before, and they fainted, which has fuck all to do with horror. So let's ask another question.
That's pretty horrifying to me.
Next question is from our beloved Nikata.
Nakano!
Long live Nikata.
I heart
Bonsai Nakano!
Yeah, long live.
The only reason you
Long
don't
live
know is
Nikata.
because
All right,
you're not hearing
if we
us.
do this too long, all the other members are gonna go fuck Nakado.
That's true. We don't want to come down. And he's a great guy.
He's
And
a
Nakata
The other
says,
members better step up like
Yeah,
Mikado
exactly.
A
Step the
prince
fuck up.
among men.
Nakata says, man, I'm so sick of all you fuckers. I don't know what I ever saw on you. Wait, what?
Oh,
No, I'm
Mikado.
sorry. I'm reading an old letter from Jalford. I'm sorry. Nakata says, greetings, League, steadily becoming legion
kidding.
of extremely
Indeed.
ordinary gentlemen and hot ladies. Ooh,
And by the way, if we ever do an offshoot of this, I think the Legion is a great name.
Yes,
Go
I
on.
did. Here's a question from across the Pacific. What are your thoughts on Asian horror? And okay, well, by all means, take it, ladies.
I'm gonna base this on one movie I've seen. I saw a Japanese movie called One Missed Call. Has anyone seen that?
Yes, and the terrible American remake.
Oh, I just saw the
What was
Japanese
the
version.
American remake.
I think it was actually called the same
One
thing.
Missed Call.
Yeah. So I've only seen the Japanese one, and so it being the only Asian horror I've seen, it was fucking creepy. It was just like, ooh, what's going on? I don't know. Ooh, it's it wasn't like the greatest
Visitor
movie
Q,
ever.
Fuck that movie.
Visitor Q.
Visitor
OMG.
Q. Yeah, well, anything Takashi Miike wrote where it's like
Automatically,
Yeah.
no question.
Visitor
fucks
Q is
anything
like
else.
lots
J
of
horror
rape.
just wants to hurt me.
I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with it. Mostly, I've seen it. It's kind of bored me, and then everybody dies, and I go like, why did I watch that? With the exception of Audition, which is in my pantheon of movies that
Audition bores
really
the
fucked
shit
me
out
up.
of
Audition
me.
bored me too.
No,
yeah.
it did me too. I was falling asleep in it until the bag moved, and suddenly
That's
I
because you
woke
thought
up.
it was a romantic comedy.
Yes, because all the press ups they gave us made it sound like a romantic comedy. And I'm like, man,
Well, you know,
boring.
J-Lo
Also, it
and
was like,
Matthew
what the fuck?
McConaughey are remaking Audition.
Audition.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, please, God. Audition pretty much made the lower part of my intestine crawl up into the higher part of my
Yes,
intestine.
it did that for me.
That being
I
said-
I had to run out of the theater. I couldn't even watch the end of it. I ran out of the theater, calling to Corey. Corey, what's happening now? It's like, she just cut his foot off. Oh shit!
man, you missed the
unlike
piano
all
wires?
the
Yes, I couldn't take it.
unlike all
Mutilation
the
is my thing. That's what I can't take.
unlike all the other horror geeks here, I don't have a lot of experience in like modern Japanese Chinese horror, but I will say we were talking a little bit about classic horror movies, and one thing that you should really check out, and a lot of people never do, Onibaba. Onibaba is this really fucking incredible.
It's so
like,
slow.
Japanese. Yeah, it is slow. So are all of the classic horror movies. They are. I mean, Dracula is slow. Fucking, Frankenstein's slow. It's slow in that way. But when you get to the crux of the matter, when it starts mattering, wow.
Okay,
It's
I
really
will-
fucking eerie and cool.
I will recommend
the
one
filmmaking's
film.
incredible.
I will recommend one J horror film that will turn all J horror films on their fucking ass, and it's a film called Hair. All right, just follow it. I don't know
the sunshine.
I don't know what
the sun shining.
Hey, you just have to wait like 5 minutes. He'll finish.
I'm a waiting.
Aren't you damn hippies? Shut the hell up.
All right, now this film
What
is
do you just want to talk about the naked scene, hippie?
look. This movie is about killer hair extensions.
Oh,
and it
X-Day.
fucking
X-Day.
rules.
Oh,
all right.
That's just a new Chris
No,
Rock
no.
movie.
Watch.
Fuck
Go
off.
look for this movie called Hair.
It's called Hell to Pay.
And I would say, like,
But it fucking rules. I saw it at Fantastic Fest, and there's a song in there that the guy who he's aware of that these extensions are killing people, and he revels in it. And there's a scene where he sings a song called Hair, which is just it's film gold. It's like hey ya, my hey ya. Oh.
oh
Kayla?
no, I was just gonna say that being a girl watching a lot of horror films, it's stuff that would be really awful for guys. They're like, oh, that would be awful if that happened. X-Day is like awful for girls, because if I had hair growing out of my eye, like tear ducts, like I couldn't handle that. Like,
have you seen it? Wait, have you
I
seen?
have eyelashes that grow out of the corners of my eyes.
Kayla, have you seen Hair?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yes. Yeah, so
I've seen quite a bit of J
like,
horror.
when I've seen it translated, it's X-Day hair extensions.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I'm like, well, Leon and I just saw Good Hair by Chris Rock, and I would totally love to see a black version of this film.
I gotta, I've seen.
Wait. Didn't they do like a Queen Latifah like hair shop version? And then they already do that?
No, not quite the same thing.
I think co-host and Cyrus and I have probably seen the most Asian horror films out of the group.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah.
Me too.
Actually,
Have you really?
Oh yeah.
About 6-7 years ago, this was like my thing.
Yeah,
It was
that
like,
was the
trying
big
to track
thing.
them all down.
But I didn't know Kayla had seen a lot of them.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, well, I also
Kudos
watch.
to you.
I watch a lot of Japanese and Korean movies and Chinese.
I gotta say that most of them, they've got some creepy imagery, but they don't make any goddamn sense at all.
Well, the thing is, like, part of the appeal is that they're going, okay, this is confusing to you, it's upsetting, you don't know what's happening because you're dealing with a fucking spirit world.
It's like a Fulci movie. You watch it and you're like, well, that was creepy, but I don't know what the hell just happened.
Honestly, the single best Asian, and this isn't Japanese specifically, but Asian horror film is The Eye to me.
Korean.
The original, is absolutely fantastic ghost
that's
story
really
that makes
good.
The Sixth Sense look like a children's story.
But you're
by
watching
comparison.
the Ring sequels, but
the Ring Zero is great.
But but you're just like, what is this, Videodrome?
Yeah, but you're complaining. You love Videodrome.
I do love
You yourself
Videodrome.
have said many times that's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Okay.
And you
Jason,
gotta
I
admit,
love you because yes, Videodrome. You kids, if you're under 14, go rent that right now. Go tell your dad and your mom to rent that for you.
you
and
gotta
that will
admit
change
that
your life forever.
That one.
Yeah, if you're under 14, it certainly will.
How do you say "long live the new flesh" in Korean? Alice?
You gotta admit that last scene of The Eye is incredible when the ghost slowly fades in the background and goes.
I'll just say that
Okay.
I don't know what
Like
just
it's-
happened.
I don't either. I'm totally confused. Sorry.
I'm not drunk enough for that.
Bo just channeled the it's
Spirit
a
of Popeye.
It's
apparently,
okay.
yeah.
I would just say that like the general atmosphere of Asian horror tends to be kind of pessimistic, and there's no justice. Like the good people don't win and the evil people don't suffer. It's like anybody within a 3-mile radius of the shit that's going down is gonna get killed in a gruesome way.
It's
She's so
like
right.
real life.
China good, you
Exactly.
bad. China good, ghost bad. China good, you bad. China good, ghost bad.
So it really is
What accent
kind of,
is that?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect any more presence of Nakado, but
It's kind of disturbing in that
He's
way.
Japanese.
Well,
Hello.
Because you can't defeat it because you're a good person.
No, I'm so with you on that. It turns me off. There's nothing I hate more than watching a movie, watching somebody like go through all these things, go through a lot of shit, and I'm with them, and then they die before the end of it. Because then I'm like, well, then why did I even watch?
well,
this?
see,
Invest.
some of the stuff is like a lot of the stuff is like everything that happens from Japanese films that are genre apocalypse films. I mean, ever since Godzilla,
Yeah.
they're apocalypse films, and you have to go. Okay, they're coming from a very different cultural mindset.
No,
than
you're
we
absolutely
are.
right. I mean,
And-
the latest South Park aside, having nuclear bombs dropped on your country and your
Well,
culture
and-
change
and-
your
changes
mindset.
everything. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Americans are more concerned in our filmmaking. Americans and Europeans are more concerned in our filmmaking that the protagonist learned a lesson. Whereas Asians are far more willing to go like, hey, you should learn a lesson from this, or the protagonist lives or dies, who gives a fuck all, it's like,
and a lot of,
don't do this or do this, but learn from the message of the movie. It doesn't have anything to do with the protagonist living or dying.
And a lot of the horror movies borrow from, Eastern mythology that the Westerners are completely unfamiliar with, like The Ring. Samara or Sudoku or whatever you want to refer to.
Sudoku is that's a little puzzle that you do.
Well,
Sudoku
she's been translated into so many languages. In fact, it's been remade in so many languages.
Sudoku is like her name in the original version, I think. But anyway, that's Onryo. That is like a traditional Japanese myth, and so that's why you see pale girls with long black hair being the big bad.
Well, I mean, honestly, I bet you they look at European films the same way with vampires. What is the thing you guys have with the vampire?
Well, and not only that, I mean, even if you go back to like, even as little back as Elizabethan tragedy. In Elizabethan tragedy, everybody fucking dies.
Yeah.
Fucking Shakespeare, Christopher Dunn, all that. People die. Greek tragedy, everybody fucking dies. Roman tragedy, everybody fucking dies. It isn't until like lately that we've been like, well, dude, the protagonist didn't live. I mean, what's the fucking point?
We're only dealing with a part of Japanese horror because there's that whole other side that's the Tokyo Shock side.
Yeah.
That is like lately anyway, which is like a Tokyo Gore Police and stuff like that, where it's all Machine Girl, where it's all super crazy, surreal gore.
Here goes
films.
co-host to talk about Asami again.
Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl. Yeah.
Which is fun, but it's not the sort of thing that you go, I can hardly wait to see it again.
Co-host, tell it.
Hey, take that back though. Machine Girl, fucking
co-host,
fucking awesome.
Tell everyone about your new Japanese girlfriend that we met.
I don't want to talk about it. Asami, who came up to me and I didn't even fucking recognize her because I was so drunk.
You weren't that
I already
drunk.
talked about
Where
this.
was
Let's
this?
do this.
This was the Highball.
This was at the Highball during the Fantastic Fest.
Oh, really?
This Asian girl who I
my
had a
goodness.
crush on for years. Not 2 years, 2 years. But
That's years.
Yeah.
Years
that is-
plural.
You had to go there, Jason. Thank you so much.
It's a good story.
No, I want to hear this.
I had a crush on
Wow,
this girl.
you bagged out an Asian girl. You took every Geek Boys fantasy and blew it.
And I fucking
Jesus
blew it.
Christ, dude.
That's why I am.
Hey, by the way, can we just call Ing right now and get an apple next time?
Go for it.
I'm
Go
just
for it.
saying.
Do it.
Yeah,
how'd you
she
blow it
came
this
up.
time? What happened?
She introduced herself to co-host.
Yes, and
To be fair, she was trying to log in.
Well, first the director. Okay, we're hanging out in front of the Highball.
And then he went to a blue screen. It was
What was
horrible.
it? Me, you, and High?
It was me, you, and High. We're hanging out in front of Highball, and for some reason we're hanging out there like we're the host of the fucking party going on. I don't know what was going on, but the director of the new movie, what was it?
Vampire.
Yeah. No. It was
Hard
Robo Geisha.
Oh, Robo Geisha.
Robo Geisha.
Right.
Robo Geisha, who's also the director of Machine Girl, which I love.
Yeah.
Walked through the door with two girls, and as soon as they walked in, Jason goes, "Hey, look, it's the stars. Look, it's the celebrities or whatever." And that guy, the director, walks up to me, starts nodding his head up and down, like, "Oh yeah." And he's like,
they didn't
nice
speak a lick of
They didn't
English.
speak a lick of English, but how you doing? And he came to me first,
Yeah.
and started just shaking my hand, and then he bowed up and down, and
By that time, I was already talking to the Russian chick
Sony.
from Sweet Karma.
Exactly. And then this girl from the left, this beautiful girl, she comes up to me and she's like, "Hello, how you doing?" And she's shaking my, she's
Because the
looking
Japanese
at me.
fucking love robots.
Yes,
dude.
and yes, she's
That's
bowing
true.
up and down.
They thought he was a Sony. That's why.
They're all about
She's-
the mech.
She's looking at me with the most lovingly eyes, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? And I look at Jason, I'm like, I don't know what's going on right now. And later on, later on the following day, when I'm waking up, I'm realizing, like, why did that girl look so familiar to me? What's going on?
Oh, God.
He told me the next
was like
night.
hanging out, and then I told him, I was like, and then all of a sudden it hit me. I'm like, oh my God, that was Asami. She introduced herself to me. It was like telling me hello and all, giving me like kisses and all kinds of stuff, and I didn't know.
And then you translated what she was saying to you, and you realized she was saying, "I want to sleep with you."
Yes, the translator.
And you missed
Turns
out
out
on that.
she's like a popular Japanese porn
she's
star.
like, she's a porn star. She's a porn star on top of that. No, I'm not fucking with. Okay, because look. Okay, here's the deal. In Japan, they're called AV stars. And they've been making the crossover to mainstream, and it's not a big deal over there. Like, it is not a big deal at all over there. And the thing is that this girl, I've seen plenty of her pornographic films, only after watching Machine Girl, and my friend telling me, hey, you know that girl that you really like in that movie? She's an adult film star in Japan as well. And I was like, what?
I really don't want to hear anymore.
Dude.
All right, you know what?
I swear to God. No.
Now, it's time that co-hosts be disassembled.
Oh,
you know what?
I'm not going to go that far.
At that moment, I would agree with you.
Disassemble.
I would agree with you. But the thing is, I recognized her, and then the following day, I looked at her and I was like, Asami? And she's like, oh, yes. And I just told her, like, I love you. I love everything about you. I stalk you on the internet day and night, and I'm a huge fan. She, yeah. She gave me her phone number, her address, her email, everything. And,
why are you still here?
Because
have no money.
Because hey,
tell them about
with my spill budget. Yes, no money.
Tell them about the pole dance.
Okay. Well, okay. Now you know. No.
The pole dance on every single Leog podcast.
Because it was fucking amazing.
We've already discussed this.
But you know what? It wasn't her. It wasn't her on the pole dance.
Yeah, I think we've gone
girl.
to the opposite of what horror is at this point.
No. We are into horror.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you said horror.
Let's pull this.
But anyway,
In
the
seventh
thing
grade,
is, I got to talk to her. I got to hang out with her. She's a very sweet girl. Very, just the most wholesome girl you can ever imagine. You never guess she's into porno. But anyway, I just said, hey, nice talking to you. She introduced me to the director of Machine Girl, which was great. That guy gave me his information. Hopefully we'll get to interview him someday on Spill.
Who cares about that guy? Fuck that guy.
I want to hear about Kayla's 7th grade.
Oh, no, I was just, because he made the joke about, we're talking about horror, and I have a speech impediment, and I did until I was like 10, and so I couldn't do R's, and double R's were like impossible. So
and you couldn't
they were
say
like,
women.
And so in 7th grade, our teacher was like, I want some suggestions for what genres of stories you like to write, guys. And I was like, I would like to write about whores. And he was like, what? I would like to write about horror. And he was like, he was getting very upset at me. And he was like getting on my desk. What do you want to talk about?
Luckily, her teacher was John Cassavetes, and so
it was I just stopped saying any double R words after that for about 10 years.
I'm going to go look at my face in the shiny thing in the bathroom.
Anyway, Asami was very nice, very sweet. She didn't give me her email
because I wouldn't want to miss the
awesome.
Yeah, next question.
Anyway, next question.
No, but
I like Kayla's story better.
Hold on.
I was just gonna say that there was someone, as a friend, had dubbed some VHSs for me at some point of a Japanese sort of Twilight Zone that was they were episodic kind of tales on Japanese traditional myths and Japanese stories, and they were awesome, and I loved them. And if anyone out there knows what I'm talking about, please send me a copy.
Well, actually, I don't know what that is. I'm surprised. I wanted to send me a copy. You should.
Yeah, they were great. They were like these episodes. It was like, a presenter would come on just like the Twilight Zone, and it was in Japanese with subtitles, and he would say, and now we're going to examine this story, and it's all about cell phones, and there'd be some kind of scary cell phone ghost story, and they were great. And if anybody can think of what those are, please send me a copy.
I was going to end the Japanese discussion here by saying that, like, horror and what you're scared of is such a cultural thing that it's no wonder that a lot of people watch Japanese films and go, I don't get it.
But they
Why?
Like
they're 80s stuff.
Nice
to go off of.
I mean,
The
that's why I
shows-
can't watch Russian horror because everything involves beat monsters.
I don't get a lot of Russian horror. When I've seen it, Fantastic Fest every year they have Russian horror stuff, and I'm like, okay, that was just weird, and I don't really understand what happened or why it's supposed to be scary.
It's funny, I haven't seen a lot, but I do
it-
remember a movie called Little Odik, and it was everything Bo just described. All about a woman who pulls up a root and adopts it like a baby.
Yeah, no.
And then it kills everybody in the building.
If your reality is facing like bread lines where if you don't get to the end in time, you're not going to get food, your definition of horror is a lot
A little
different than
different.
ours.
And it's true as well for Japan, and especially like a lot of their stuff gets to be pretty surreal and dreamlike, and a lot of it is very apocalyptic. If you like that sort of thing, one movie you may not have seen, there was a terrible American remake of it called Pulse, but the Japanese original version is called Cairo, and it's one of their definitive apocalyptic horror films. It's really great. But you know what? We're reaching the end, and we've got time for one more question.
Okay, and before we go, there's
Sissy.
something I want to say, but Jason
let's
needs to
have a
be here,
break
which
and
he
do
never
two
seems to be.
more.
Well, we just got to do this question, then you can do it. So hold on to that question, Leon.
Okay.
And you know, it's just the final one. The one where Devil Never Cries says, from each of you, what do you think is the perfect horror film? And I guess we're just gonna go with what's your favorite horror film with what he means by that. And I'm just gonna say, for me, to this day, it's The Exorcist.
Thank you very much.
I've never seen anything that scared me as much as that film did, and I'm not even mildly religious. I wasn't raised that way or anything, and yet that is a terrifying movie even today.
Number one scariest horror movie.
It's a perfect horror film.
So anyone could jump in at this point, really.
I will
I
second
will.
you on that. Raised as a Catholic, that was the epitome of what was going, like, if the shit's gonna go down, you're gonna get possessed by the devil. And so that movie to me was like, oh shit, this could happen someday. I could get possessed by the devil and walk around on the ceiling and, like, TT in front of company.
Man, I have not heard that
If
in
you
a
say
long
TT,
time.
that is scary.
She even changed her consonant to protect herself.
I'd say The Shining is just one of the scariest movies because when twins are hanging out in the hallway of a hotel, talking and walking at the same time, that's fucking creepy.
Well, it doesn't matter where they are. If
Bleeding
they're
walls.
twins, they're freaky. Yeah.
Twins are creepy. Don't dress them the same. Cut it out,
With big
parents.
with big fucking eyes like those girls. Holy
If you're a
shit.
twin, one of you shave your head, the other let it grow.
yeah,
That's just
and
all there is.
one of you scar yourself.
You know is also really fucked up. You know is also
Facially.
really fucked up about The Shining was the scene where he sees that hot girl in that one room. He starts making out with her, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
she's
She's a
a fucking
corpse.
broad. Ah, I hate old ladies. Ah.
See, that
Old
makes me,
ladies are gross.
Really, that's Corey's favorite scene in that film.
see, that makes
It
me
would
think
be
of
that sick fuck.
makes me think of that scene in Poltergeist with the guy, where the TV producer goes in the mirror
Yes!
and starts peeling his face off. Because I
Dude.
feel like that a lot of times when I can just start pulling my face and rip the whole
I
thing
can never
off.
look in the mirror again after
Mushroom.
that scene. I can't even eat chicken after looking at that
I
scene.
know, and I love chicken. You know, Cyrus says you.
Hey,
That's
don't be laughing
racist,
at that.
Leon.
As you took my answer of The Exorcist, I think of like 3 movies altogether that have actually ever scared me. Okay, Cloverfield would be the 4th one, but you know, other than The Exorcist, like The Thing, the John Carpenter's The Thing,
Yes.
just like the tension in that just gets me, you know, just amped up to the edge of my seat. And the other movie that actually scared me, I can't remember what it was.
Ghost of
He's the
Girlfriend's
one
Past.
admit it, I think.
Leonard Part 6.
No, it's not either of those. It's funny because I had it like right there ready to say it, and then like I waited too long. And I'm like, the hell was I gonna?
All right,
Well, hey, we'll let you think about it. We'll let you think about it.
I will say, you know, there's no escaping it. The 2 scariest movies ever made, like as far as the shit that will scare everybody, are The Exorcist and The Shining. The Shining in particular because it really uses that facility of, like, are you going crazy? Or are these fucking ghosts? And it never answers that question. And the stuff that does that always fucking sends me. It really does. Because the thing that I'm most afraid of, because I am a humanist, I believe you go into the grave, that's it. You get eaten by worms and you're dead. You know, but the idea of going crazy really scares me. And the idea of going crazy and thinking that, oh well, now that I'm crazy, I'm worried about the afterlife and whether people who have been murdered or painfully hacked to death are going to come back and haunt me. That really fucking worries me. The Shining, the elevator opening, the blood spilling out, boom. Between that and the two fucking girls, I'm fucking done. As far as that, I will say this because I think it's definitely going to go down in the annals as a classic horror movie, but I haven't noticed it being listed a lot by people that are horror fans. But The Sixth Sense just fucking worked for me, dude. I mean, there were so many instances in that movie that I just went, fuck! And jumped out of my seat. And they're one of the best movies in the last, really 10 years that use that, very subtle, something walking by, something very, quiet, and then use something very in your face, like the girl fucking puking.
Do you want to see where my dad keeps his gun?
Fuck yeah! I mean, there's as far as the ghost in that movie, even if it's just a little flash of people being hung or hanged, excuse me, there's nothing about that isn't scary.
Okay.
That is a badass fucking scary movie, and it's definitely right up there in my trilogy.
The scene that really creeped me out was towards the end where it looks like there's a drama teacher doing his makeup before he gets, and you realize it's a ghost.
Yeah,
that scene fucked me.
I do want to.
Once you start realizing that anything this kid is seeing could be ghosts, that's what really creeps you out. And the ending, fucking beautiful.
I do want to say this, and guys, if you haven't seen The Sixth Sense, take 30 seconds out here because I'm going to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
Go away right now.
Okay.
Oh God! Spoilers!
But I was on a date when I saw it for the first time.
Now I know.
You were on a date?
Not knowing anything about
Now
it.
I know you're making it up.
No, you know her, Jaina Dixon.
The
You
girl
know
from
Jaina.
So
she's from
basically,
Canada.
what you're saying is, when you went to Blockbuster and got this on video the first time, you were masturbating, and
No, when you were on your date with your mom, okay, what happened?
So I fucked her, and then no.
and then as I was cleaning the Astroglide off of my right palm, go.
I'm the only guy who gets more shit than Grant. I don't know, Grant. I don't want to hear any more complaints about just
hey,
shut up.
Wait, guys. I have a story to tell.
No, I'm not.
Shut up,
telling
Grant.
my story.
There you go.
All right, so I'm watching it. I'm like, I get to the point where Bruce Willis is sitting on the bed next to what's his face, who's no longer important in
Haley
Hollywood
Joel
sense.
Osment.
Yes, and he tells, I see dead people all the time, only they know they're not dead. And I go, oh, he's already dead. And she punched me in the jaw.
As she should have.
Okay, first of all, you're a fucking liar. Second of all, you're a fucking liar.
I'm not a liar.
The ending. I am gonna sound like a complete jackass when I say this, but the ending, not a big surprise. I guessed it 30 minutes in, but you're right.
Wait,
about the ghost
whoa!
scene.
30 minutes? Really?
Really? Okay, I must.
Good for you.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, come on. Ruh-roh, Raggy, Riri's dead people.
Wow, those folks who didn't figure it out are a little freaked out, aren't they?
I was told the ending 3 or 4 times before I saw it, and still I did not know the ending.
Well, it's
You're
funny.
just a dummy.
Okay, I think we have established our spectrum here between stupid people and liars. So
hey,
I would be right there in the middle of people that were fucking surprised.
I had some fucking ticket-taking douchebag fucking spoiled the ending for me. As soon as I was floating up to the goddamn box office, this fucking guy goes, can you believe that ending? He was outside telling everybody, can you believe the ending of The Sixth Sense? Wow, would you ever know it was actually him who was and I was like,
Yeah.
what?
You should
Him
have
was a
punched
what?
him in the nuts.
He's like, tickets please, Kevin Spacey
Yeah,
is
no,
Kaiser Soze.
I'm sorry.
Tickets please, Darth Vader is Luke's father. Tickets please, Rosebud is
I'm sorry, yeah, if the police roll up on that, and you've really you've got your fist down the guy's throat, they'd be like, oh, he blew that ending? Yeah, fuck, you're good,
Well,
dude.
It's
fine.
It's Kristen's turn.
It is
My point being that even though I figured out the ending, and I'm sorry, but his movies never surprised me, that still was freaking scary with the ghosts.
It's a great movie, even if when you figure it
Oh,
out.
it was
Because I
just-
figured it out
oh,
early, but
creepy.
it still freaked me out, and it was still a
Super
great
creepy.
movie.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Allison, but real quick though, you're telling me that when you went to go see Unbreakable, you already figured out it was a superhero origin film? Come on now. Be honest.
I mean, come
Be
on
fucking
now.
honest.
Okay.
Don't fucking lie to me.
A few minutes into the village, when we pan around the group, come on.
No,
That's not even
we're not talking about
fair.
the village.
We're not talking about.
But
Look,
I'm
the
saying,
first
like-
two. Look, the first two films are M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, whatever his name is. The rest are a Rigelian lizard person from the 8th dimension
I didn't-
who have put his skin on.
I purposely didn't say his name because I wanted to avoid that joke, but thank you very much.
What's his name, Allison? What's his
I
name?
could dogpile in here, but
M.
let's
Night.
give Kristen her turn.
Shamalama ding
Oh, is it
dong.
my turn now? Thank you.
What's the next question?
Anyway,
Fuck you, Jason.
Yeah, that the politeness has been working out for you well.
Yeah,
hasn't
so
it?
I keep forgetting to bring my dart gun. Anyway, sadly for me, by the time I saw The Exorcist, it was re-released in the theaters. I was about 20, and it's about as cynical and desensitized as could be. So when I saw The Exorcist, it was hilarious to me. I laughed my ass off because I was about 20. If I saw it now, I'd probably spook me. By the time I saw The Shining, I'd already seen The Simpsons. So every time I saw The Shining, I'm like,
Simpsons did
you
it.
mean The Shinning?
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, the
The
jokes
Shining.
have been killed. So
And you and Napoleon Dynamite. Right. Like the devil would really come. Whatever.
so these great classic horrors have been ruined for me. But the thing that gave me the fucking creeps was Blair Witch, which I saw as
Really?
it opened. But because and the reason why is the characters in it were, like, as soon as I saw it, the girl character was so me, and one of the other characters was so my best friend, and we were at camp together.
Cynical, mean, and overexposed to culture.
No, just the way that, like, she had the camera in everyone's face all the fucking time, which at the time, like, that was me, and the first guy that gets killed was so much like my best friend. So as I was watching, I was like, oh, this would totally be like a movie about me and my best friend in the woods. And that scene where it's always like children's voices in the tent, children scare me anyway. So children coming and like getting all over my tent in the middle of the night. Oh,
Man,
get away!
That's so weird because the Blair Witch Project for me is one of the happiest movies I've ever seen. Because it's 3 fucking hipsters getting murdered the way that they fucking should be.
It creeps me out to see children coming all over somebody's tits.
What?
Oh, children coming all over tents.
Hiyo!
Oh,
God. Emma,
I totally misheard.
I just want to say I'm so fucking pretentious right now.
You're tired of
I've
it now.
saved so much money making this stupid fucking movie.
But again, at the time, I was a film student, and
Oh,
so
oh my
I
God.
could.
I'm so glad we met you 10 years
Oh, and by
later.
the way, everybody out there who thinks Paranormal Activity is
Blair
fucking
Witch
good,
2 is really good. Yeah,
fucking
that's
fuck
Okay,
you.
okay. Wait.
Again.
Let me say this. I was going to save it
You
for the
guys are
end.
going off
but-
on a tangent again while I'm still
No,
fucking
no.
talking, and I always get interrupted. I'm fucking saying it. Let me finish my fucking point.
Who was
Thank
interrupting you? Was it us?
Everyone all the goddamn time.
Sorry.
Anyway.
So anyway,
Shut up!
Yeah.
So the final scene where that guy is like in the corner. Stop it, Jason. Jeez, quit masturbating over there. So that final scene where the guy's just in the corner and you're like, what is he doing? Is he dead? And
he's peeing.
what is he doing?
He's
I don't know.
peeing.
But again, like,
They've been in the woods with 3 other people, and he's pee shy.
No. He's baby, and nobody puts him there.
Oh my God, the Blair Witch is Patrick Swayze.
But again, at the time when that movie first came out, and at that moment in my life, it was perfect. It was creepy. I went home, I thought about it. I'm like, oh, children. Oh.
You know what? I went back
watch
and-
it now. It's overdone. You can't watch it. It's dead. It's
No,
of the
I went
past.
back and watched it again kind of recently, and I really thought it was still creepy.
And I'll tell you what, I bought that on DVD. I watched halfway through it,
They
and
saw you coming.
I couldn't watch it anymore because That movie does
Because you go
scare
and went,
the
wow,
fuck
this
out of me.
sucks.
It's
All right.
great.
No,
I'm sorry.
Hey, you be quiet over there, non-believer.
No.
All right,
I
Mr.
want
Spider-Man 3 fucking flying in the black
guy
outfit.
in the corner, the guy on the corner, the guy in the corner is scary. There's no question about that. Once again, everybody out there making a big deal out of Paranormal Activity, it's a fucking sheet coming down on its own. Fuck you,
Okay,
you're wrong.
I like Paranormal Activity. Fuck off.
No.
God.
This I need to say about Paranormal Activity because everybody wants to like talk about me on the site for not liking that movie.
Yeah, I think they're going a little bit far about talking shit about you. I get why they don't like it. I get that. So chill out.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Leon, you suck.
But I also want to say, like, look, I talked about this movie, Paranormal Activity, how, like, wow, it's exactly the Blair Witch all over again. But you know what? Beyond the Blair Witch, it's another movie that I saw. Another reason I wasn't impressed with it because I saw this exact movie.
Called every horror movie ever made.
No. It was a little movie, and I think the name of it was EVP. I'm not sure. But it was made by our own Jason Murphy. Paranormal Activity was exactly the same fucking short film that he made. So I'm like, yeah, I've seen this done already. Low budget, the same plot and everything.
I've never seen it.
But that's like saying, see, the thing is, it was dealing with a series of belief systems that you're totally unfamiliar with because you go, why would I bother paying attention to that? I don't believe in it. Whereas for me, I bothered paying attention to it because I think it's cool. I think it's a culturally interesting thing that people believe all this stuff. Same way with UFO believers now. I find it fascinating to read these reports and stuff. I don't believe in it. I think it's bullshit. But the difference between you and me is you blow it off out of hand, don't even bother to acknowledge it. Me having read it, and for those folks who do get into that stuff, like, oh, I'm really interested in reading what people claim they experienced by being able to...
I would like to say right now that I think Paranormal Activity sucks for reasons far beyond any disagreement beyond Leon and Cyrus.
I agree too. The thing is, you know what? While I might dismiss these things the way you do anything that has any religious connotations. The fact is,
that's not true. I love The Exorcist. I just said.
A horror movie falls apart when people don't behave the way real humans do.
Yeah.
And they don't do the logical things. And in watching that movie, I'm like, the first thing you think of is like, look, let's leave this premises. And they don't leave the fucking house at all.
Okay,
You're
which
haunted
is-
by a ghost and you don't ever think, well, let's leave?
Because they established that in the movie. They say it doesn't matter where they go.
No, they established that in the third act.
No,
but there's two
you
acts before
fell
that.
asleep.
Because it was fucking boring. It was boring. It was full of shitty actors. No, this movie is a fail.
No.
Movie's a fail.
Hey, I saw the same movie and
fall
I
asleep at anything
agree.
that's good. That fucking movie is fucking boring.
Dude, you just told me they
filled with
established it in the
shitty
third act.
actors.
Whoa! I will say.
Did Bo fall asleep?
I will say, in Leon's defense, white people crazy.
Okay,
Leon, they
thank
did
you.
in the first
So,
15 minutes
thank you
establish
very
that was
much
the
as
case.
having.
Dude, if there was something haunting this house right now, you would get up and leave.
Me and Leon
You would
be
try
the first
it.
ones out.
I wouldn't. I tried to fight him.
Once again, missing the point. They made
No,
very
dude,
clear.
we
Wait.
wait.
They made very clear that no matter where she goes, it follows her immediately. So it doesn't matter where she lives, it's there. So your point makes no sense.
No, it does, because that white motherfucker should have
Somebody let
divorced-
Allison fucking talk already.
I concur.
I was just
That
gonna
movie was a piece of
say
shit.
that Leon's point is why I don't like the Blair Witch Project, because 3 people who can't find their way out of the woods in Maryland with a map, a compass, and running water deserve to die.
Allison,
And in
the witch
Paranormal-
would not let them leave.
They
You had to
threw
bang
the
that
map
over your head
away.
with a mallet. God damn it, woman!
They threw
You'll kill
the
us
map
all.
away.
Well, see, that's the thing, though,
They're
is
going
that
crazy
That's the
from
difference.
woods madness.
That's the difference between reading something into it because you want to have an argument
Yeah,
and them
That's the
saying it
argument.
out loud
according
in
to the mythology, the
dialogue.
Blair
Allison,
Witch.
I'm never spending Christmas with you.
The Blair Witch was messing with reality and making them walk in circles and so forth. But anyway, Paranormal Activity. Shut the fuck up, Greg. Paranormal Activity. I liked it, but I gotta agree with Leon because one quote unquote demonologist douchebag says you can't leave the house and it won't work.
No,
I
that's
gotta
not what
say-
happened. That's not what happened.
No.
She said herself that ever since she was a girl, it had been following her around.
Okay,
Okay, whoa.
You claim- you claim
Cyrus,
I caught that.
Cyrus, Leon, I'm gonna let you talk. But I got something to say. The premise of every horror movie made in the last 25 years has been white people doing stupid shit because they can't figure out a way out of it.
To be fair, you've
And
seen
that being said, I
of
gotta
them.
say, even though I thought the movie was a dumbass piece of crap because it just trades on stupid
Come
shit.
on, are you saying black people
Cyrus
don't make some
wins.
stupid ass mistakes? Have you ever
How
watched
many
Ghost
horror
Dad?
movies have been
Have you
made?
ever watched Ghost Dad? All right.
Mom and Dad, stop fighting!
I am gonna shove a pudding pop so far up your hole that you are gonna be tasting chocolate for the rest of your life.
I'm pretty sure on that note.
We need to finish up this
Emily!
We need to. Kayla, did you have an answer for the question of favorite horror film?
We should end this in our
Wait, I'll let
cage match.
Jason did it better.
What?
You said
Jason did it better.
Thank you, sir. But Kayla, favorite horror film?
It's not so much favorite, but the question's perfect. And a perfect, like, to me, it doesn't have to be scary. I mean, it
Don't
just...
give some stupid fucking answer.
Fuck you, Jason.
Shut
Shut
up.
up and answer. She's been holding on. Please.
Shut up, all of you!
Let her answer.
I want to hear her.
She's gonna get like 4 hours of sleep tonight. Okay, so let the woman have her answer.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's just... But they're just good. I mean, I generally love the genre with all my heart. And it's not... I mean, sure, you know the answers. People are going to die, But it's the quirks and all of the turns that make them so perfect. And the monsters are definitely an added bonus. I mean, if you want to talk about movies that I've ever been scared of, it's like The Mothman Prophecy scared me. But do I consider that, like, the perfect horror movie? No, because I don't... So... Go.
What about
Go.
Silence of the Lambs?
You're still
No.
going. You're still going.
I'm done.
You're done?
Go.
Are you sure?
Well,
You
no.
have an answer?
What would your answer be? I mean, as far as
Your favorite.
movies that apply to that parameter.
Like we even said, start.
All
this,
of
it's like
them.
it said perfect,
Except
and we said
for Rob
fuck
Zombie.
that because perfect doesn't make any sense.
What?
What's your favorite?
What is nearest perfect?
Kayla, which one fucking scares the living shit out of you whenever you go to bed?
Well, no, those aren't the parameters. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I don't.
Just your
get-
favorite.
What's the horror movie you most enjoy?
Trapped on a desert island.
Trapped on a desert island. One horror movie. You got it. What are you gonna?
I'm gonna take Terrorvision.
All right.
Oh.
Good answer, only because I've seen that and I loved it when I was a
That-
wee
that-
bit,
that's a pretty good
8-bit little
answer.
bastard.
It's not the correct answer, but it's a pretty good answer.
Hey, it's a correct answer in my world.
It's better than your answer.
I
and
think
I know
we
what
have.
that's gonna be.
Oh, do I smell a debate?
Oh, he's gonna pick the.
Kayla, now, since you've seen it, I think
Jason's
you and
gonna
I.
pick the standard boy answer. Ready?
Kayla,
Tell them.
no,
Standard boy
Kayla.
answer. Go.
Kayla, since you and I have only seen TerraVision, I
I've
think
seen
we're
TerraVision.
Oh, you've seen it? Okay.
Yeah.
Does B-52s have a song in that movie?
No.
Do the B-52s have it? No.
Fratellis
Watch out for the
Let's
TerraVision!
kill!
It's about to set sail!
What the fuck just happened here?
I thought B-52s
Fratellis.
B-52s had a
Fratellis.
TerraVision.
Okay, you know what? No, the correct answer is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Thanks for listening. Long live the league. Good night.
Long live the league.
Wait, co-host didn't give his answer.
Yeah, motherfuckers. All right, what was my answer? All right,
Hardware.
Okay, no.
Co-host favorite
Talk
horror
about
movie
excellence.
is his own.
okay.
Is his own. Is his.
I will have to say
Short
my
Circuit
favorite
2.
horror film of all time.
It-
the one,
Paranormal
the one film I have
Is
to
it
watch.
you describing a Green Lantern comic? Because that certainly wakes me up
Don't
screaming.
And then
make
Ruby
me
Rocket
tell
shows
you
up.
the tragic tale of Abin Sur once again, my friend. All right? Don't make me do it. I'll only do it if Ruby's here, because I know she was interested. All right, now, look. The one movie I have to watch, it is a must, every Halloween night, is George Romero's... No, shut up. George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Only because the first time I saw that film, I honestly thought it was a documentary. I thought it was actually happening. The news reports, these things are coming back to life, eating the victims they kill. I honestly thought that shit was
You
going
were
on.
goddamn
Actually,
retarded.
I remember.
Can we combine?
In the house, watching the black and white television that I was looking at the sliding door to the left of me, thinking, Oh fuck.
By
This shit
by,
is
by the
going
way,
down.
can we
And there's nothing we could. What can you? How can you
Can we
kill somebody who's
combine
already
that?
dead?
Can we rock out on that? Because I think that's a brilliant fucking answer.
It is a great answer.
And Tony, or excuse me, co-host notwithstanding.
Yes.
Can we go around the room? No explanation given. What is your must-see horror movie for Halloween?
Yes.
Let's go out on
Didn't
that.
we just kind of do that?
Yeah, that was
No,
sort of-
no,
Pumpkinhead.
we said what our scariest movie is.
Well, the only
mu-
reason I'm
your-
saying like I don't want to go around the room again is because we're already at like 2.5 hours.
Are we
is why-
really?
Yeah.
Hey,
we're already-
let's do this. We do 4 hours.
I'm saying though, no explanation, no commentary. Boom. One.
What
Go for it.
the Bessie Harvey?
Do
First,
it.
I was gonna say first off, like you said that exact same thing, co-host, about Monkey Shine. So I don't even want to. You were like, I thought it was real. No,
Cyrus.
actually, my must-see horror film, depending on where you are in your life, but hey, it's probably Poltergeist to this day.
Greg, what's your must-see Halloween horror movie?
Poltergeist.
Title only.
The Thing.
The Innocents.
Grant,
The Sandlot.
Leon,
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
right on. The 1931 version of Dracula, Kristen.
Shockwaves.
Pumpkinhead.
God, well, yeah, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
All right. And Night of the Living Dead. Oh, but there's a bonus. Now, Grant. Okay, now look.
No, there is no bonus. Thank you
There is
for
when
listening.
there is when I'm here, because I'll be gone next time you guys do this, and I ain't gonna be hanging around. But anyway, kids, look for a movie on YouTube, because that's the only way you can find it right now. There's a movie called Dark Night of the Scarecrow, which is really creepy. It was a made-for-TV.
I have that.
TV show. You have that?
Yes.
That's why I like you. That is the creepiest Halloween movie you can ever watch.
Made for TV,
Yes,
CBS,
made for-
1979.
When they, oh man, when he's like the kid's hiding in a scarecrow suit with the
Yes.
fucking pitchfork.
Oh.
The
Creep
retarded
me
kid.
the
yeah.
fuck out.
Yes.
All
that
right,
makes you
guys.
fucking-
If we
yes.
haven't scared you with the content of this episode, we've certainly scared you with the fucking length. Thank you, Cyrus, for mixing this all down from us. And all we really need to say now is long live the league.
And go see Paranormal Activity because it actually. is
Shaun of
pretty
the Dead
good.
rules.
You're
Shaun
completely
of the
wrong.
Dead.
You're out of your mind.
Shaun of the Dead.